back with another live stream, and I'm gonna go back to working on Lucky Backup, doing remote backups between. Well, I've got SSH Droid app on my phones, and that is just the SSH server connect from my desktop to the phones to back up my files, my videos, and stuff is what I'm mostly interested in. And let me check my. I see my streams in yellow. It always starts like that now. I guess I complain about it almost every time, but it didn't used to do that. Okay, but it's working, and the last time it started in yellow and then went green and stayed green, so that was good. Yesterday it lost the complete stream right in the middle, and then then it restarted. Luckily, OBS Studio, the program I'm using here, will automatically restart the stream if it is lost, so that worked out. But I am going to upload that video to replace the broken in half video. So when I get done with all these videos, let's see. Back to I'm on the desktop, and I'm going to go to. Here's what I want to do. Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead. Let's see. How am I going to do this? I'm going to do it on phone 3, I think. I keep going back and forth. Should I just do it on phone 2, the one I'm wanting to back up? Try to set up an RSA key on the phone so that it will log in automatically with no password. I already have RSA keys here on this system. Or what if something goes wrong, and really gets me in a mess, then I might have trouble backing it up. So, and that's my main goal, is to back those up. But once I start the backup, then I have to wait 1 to 4 hours for it to finish before I can start fiddling with this stuff again. So I think I will go on phone 3, which is already backed up, and it doesn't have much data on it, and try setting up an RSA key. And I'm going to do it all with a remote shell because I can't type on I can't type on a little bit old 4-inch screen. I can't type on a touch type worth doodly anyway. So I'm going to get in here in my documents. I just remembered I need the commands. Let's see, where are they? I guess it's probably in the Linux command. Yeah, SSH. The last time I tried out doing an SSH remote shell, I saved all the terminal output into a file. So that way I know all the commands I ran, and if what worked, and if anything didn't work, it'll all be right here in this file. Okay, so yeah, let's see, for instance, the top one, SSHP 2222, and the root at the phone that I was connecting to, the IP address can't be established. The RSA. Okay, are you sure you want to connect to it? No, yes, yes. Okay, so it did work. First time. Oh, there was other times that I didn't save that. I got in a real mess trying to figure it all out because I tried to do it from memory at first, but says right here, SSH Droid is the server that I'm running on my phones, the SSH server. And it always pops up that message, use root as username and default password is admin, which I've changed, and I do not believe you can log in that way. I could try just to make sure that can be done and make sure I'm safe, but and it defaults me to SD card O, which is what I have set as my default storage, which is my removable SD card. The onboard storage is SD card. It calls it SD card 1. I think it would be reversed if I didn't have that set that way, though. And then there's the first command I ran just to check the netstat VATN. They'll check the LAN stuff and all that junk. Just kind of looking through it, I mean, it was a lot of that. I didn't even know what it meant. But it tells you the open ports and all that kind of stuff. A lot of open ports in there. But anyway, I just ran looked up. I was, reading articles. Now, I wasn't making a video when I did this. I made a bunch of screenshots, but I didn't make a video because I was the first time I'd done it on a phone. So, and not all Linux commands will run in Android, but a bunch of them will. That's what I just learned as I was reading and trying things out. But So what I need though is this part right here, and I don't remember. Maybe I had to do that. I think I tried it as done and it wouldn't work. But yeah, and then when I typed in my password that I gave it, it worked. So if I typed in the default password, I'm sure it wouldn't log in. I could try it just to make sure. But the IP address is going to be, copy that. I'm going to need that. I'll probably be referring back to this, so I'm going to move that to the right, I guess. And I'm going to open me up a, go back to the .ssh folder, SSH folder. These, I will need to copy my public key over to the phone. That's one of the other things I'll be needing to do. But yeah, I think I'll just open up my terminal in this folder, and then see in the Crusader I can just click on that and open terminal here. But then when I go log in to that to the phone, then and I need to find the IP address of that phone 3. Yeah. And I just so happens that since I use this IP webcam app, I can see what the IP address is with these quick links I have here. 192.192.168.0.181. Okay, so see now this is only serving up audio, so there's no, but you can, you know, if that's curious to you, you can control various aspects of the IP webcam app and your audio and or your video. What I do is I do the audio on phone 3 and video on phones 1 and 2 usually. Right now I'm only doing video on phone 2 because the phone 1 is what I'm going to back up, and I know it's going to use up lots of bandwidth running that backup. But right now I'm going to try this out on phone 3 so that if I say break something to where I can't connect to it anymore, then I can easily, this one's not in a phone 3, I don't keep it in the wrapped up in rubber bands in my tripods, you know. It's not hard to get the battery get the cover off, not the battery out, but the SD card out. Okay, so just get in a normal terminal, paste in the commands there to get you, and then you need your IP address. And I'm just going to copy it because it's there. I might end up with HTTP. We'll see. Nope. Okay, so hit enter and use root as username. Why didn't it respond? I think I'm not. Oh, it's dummy. It's not showing it because it's looking for the password. So it's using root because I put it in there. I'm sorry, I lost my mind. I said what user I wanted to log in as in that command, root at. So yeah, I'll use my password. Well, I can try. See, what's that default password? Let's just make sure it doesn't work. I don't believe it will, but what if it did? I have something. Yeah. Permission denied. So my password I gave it is the only password that's going to log it in, and that's what I want. So that's just the default message it gives, the SSH Droid app, and if you haven't changed your password, then that would work. That would log you in, but of course you wouldn't want to leave. I don't leave the SSH Droid app running. I don't have it boot with the system. But if I did, then I'm going to move this over here. Make that just a little bit shorter so that I can pull it down below that X. I don't want to. A lot of times when this X is over the other one, you think it didn't work, you click it 2 or 3 times, and then it closes your application. I do that anyway. So that'll give me a better chance of not accidentally closing it. Okay, so just screenshot that right there. Okay, now that's something I couldn't remember where it put you in. So the default folder that it put you in Well, okay, that's the name of the SD card. That's what it's given out right there. I'm pretty sure, unless I don't think that's random generated by this Android. I think that's the actual name in the firmware of the SD card. I think could be random generated. This could be these right here, RTO4G. RF may be the name, and then that's randomly generated. I'm not sure. Anyway, the folder it puts you into is storage SD card O. Okay, so no, we can't. That's not where we're going to want to create our RSA keys. So let's go back to the instructions. And you see in Fedora Linux, you want to create it in your home user. Well, we'll go back. See, in this case, in regular Fedora, well, you can do it in root folder, but I wouldn't want to do that. I want it to be the regular user. So in Fedora, I want home.ssh, and that's where mine are already created. In Android, I got to figure out where to put it. So I did pick phone 3, right? Let's see. 181. Okay. 181. Okay. I have the SSH server up on all 3 phones right now, in case I want to connect to them. Okay, so now I ran quite a few commands that day, but I may be able to find them again by searching. Let's see. Yeah, CD. Oh, you don't put the forward. Look at here. I did CD DCIM and it went there, but without putting the / And actually, I would think you would have to. Then ls lists the files in the folder. So that was just where I wanted to go at that time. But where I want to go this time is SD card 1. So let's go there. Let's kind of get in our head. And then I got to figure out, I don't think, we'll see, but I don't think there's going to be a .ssh folder, but we'll find out. Okay, so let's make sure everything is working. Yeah, okay. I think I'm going to have to do storage. SD card 1 to get there. Yep. Okay. Now then, lists, ls. Okay, we've got Android, movies, and ringtones. Okay. So that's not where I want to be either. I know that from this. I just remembered one thing I could do is go ahead and log into it with FileZilla. If I could log into it with Crusader, it'd be great. I like Crusader very much, and that's what I used to do. But Crusader stopped supporting logging in with like this with SFTP, is what I'd be doing. I stopped supporting it. I'd try it anyway just to make sure, but we'll just try it and see. I keep trying it and hoping it works. Because then I can do it with a graphic user interface. There. Yeah, not supported by Crusader. But I believe it will work if I had a pre-shared key on there, but I haven't got that far yet. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a lot easier to just leave that where it is. Oh, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but some reason I like to have, when I do open up FileZilla, I like it over there. Okay, now. So, and it's also, this is already making me think, I put user Dawn in Lucky Backup, but I log in with the same password. And keep getting that message saying about logging in as root, that same message. I'm wondering if maybe I could just change it to root. I don't know that would give me any more actual permissions because root is, this phone's not rooted, but let's see. Okay, we want to go to that machine. We'll just go ahead and say root because, and password. And the port is not going to be the default port. It's going to be 2222. Now, okay, it says select the proper protocol. Okay. 192 to 181. I've done it before, as you can see. That's FTP. It may only let me do it as regular FTP, this program here. Although, protocol. Well, I know I can't just connect to port 22. Guess I could have left. You cannot specify a port. I think then it'll try. Well, I'm not sure which one it'll try. Could not connect to server. Let's see. Oh yeah, see it says SFTP. That's the default it wants to try to do for you, which is what I want. But I may not be able to. I think maybe it doesn't. I never used this over the years. I liked Crusader until it quit working for, 20 years almost now. Well, no, I didn't discover Linux until 2005. So from then till now. But it's just been the last year or so that they've stopped supporting. So let's go ahead and do, that one won't work. Waiting to retry. Connection refused. Okay. Then that one will probably work. We'll try that. No? Oh, well, it's already written in there. Yeah. I don't see where you change the protocol is what my deal is here. I guess you can manually do FTP and then make sure in the right port and say quick connect. I don't know why it's not connecting because I've done that genes of times. Try it one more time. Proper protocol. Okay, let's try my regular user. Maybe that's the problem. Yeah, the reason I'm doing this whole Lucky Backup thing is because I do remember kind of now that I had to do it a little different than what I would expect to be able to connect. You can kind of see all the different ways I've either connected or tried to connect. But well, let's just go ahead. I don't remember what's going on here. Let's just go back and start going through the directories again. CD, not DC. Okay, CD. Let's just try to go to the root of the whole thing. Okay, it let me go there. There we go. That was simple, wasn't it? I'm not good at typing things right, so I generally try to use the GUI apps, but then when they give that much trouble, it's easier to do it in the command line. Okay, probably I forgot something is what it is, because I know it works. Okay, so these are the directories that are there, and probably some files too. Let's see. Property contents. RES, let's see. It's kind of laid out strange. ACT. That's the folder, I suppose. That's a file. Okay. property context, RS, root, SBIN, SD card. If I'd read it from left to right. Boot, okay, cache. I think the ones that are blue and green are going to be, no, the green ones are files. The blue ones I think are folders then. But some of them are white. That probably means what type of file it is. Okay, config, data, dev, firmware. I don't know where. So what I'm looking for is where should I create. I think I can create a .ssh folder somewhere and make this work, but where should I create it? At the, on the absolute root directory of the system. See, there's a root directory, that's where I'm at. There's no root folder, and you don't have a home folder. So cache, config, data. That's why I wanted to do it in the GUI if I could, because it could go really quick. And yeah, MC is not on this. Midnight Commander would be a good way to do it too. It'll run in the terminal. It's a twin panel file manager, and of course, you can't just, if you can't, might be a way to do it. Type in some commands and go get it, from Google. But I wonder if you could just go to Google. It's just turning into more and more things to have to do. So that's why I was afraid about doing this. But so let's don't do that either yet. Okay, tombstones. Now here's what I don't get. Okay, these are files. That's obvious. I don't know if what it is just like, row 1, row 2, row 3. I think that's what it is. I don't think you read it as columns, but it's just different. Instead of being, single row, it's lined it up to not be so long. I think is what it's doing. So these are files. Now mount. Okay, yeah. So that's what it is. It's kind of doing it. I don't see that a whole lot in the terminal. So I didn't, at least not when I go in there. Not the things that I do. But anyway, mount MNT. I know I'm familiar. That's a real familiar folder to me. Res root. Okay, there's root right there. Okay, SBIN. CF, storage, sys. Okay, let's see if we can get into root. Yeah, it threw me off. Okay, I got into root. Lists. Oh, very good, very good. Now let's see if we have a .ssh folder. That's where I would put it then, if I can, if it'll allow me. Wait, am I in root? Permission died. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, if I can't get into the root folder and see the folder would have to be rooted, is what I get. I'm pretty sure. In order for me to be able to get into the root folder, to see what's in there, much less, create a folder or anything. So that's going to be a whole nother can of worms. See, it's kind of weird. It says log in as root, but you're not logging in as root. You can't log in as root in the Android unless it's a rooted phone. That's what I already knew, but it kept saying that. That app kept saying that. SSH George is what's giving out that message saying use root as username. And well, of course, that gives you the idea that you're logging in as root when you compare it to Linux, but you're not. What seems to be the case, though, is with SSH George, you can either use your username. I don't know if I created that Dawn username or if it got it from the phone. I think I created it, I guess. But anyway, before I was saying, I remember being able to log in as root or Dom with the same password, and you still had pretty much the same privileges. It did seem like there was a few folders you could go into if you logged in as root. I'm talking about like over SFTP. But then after a while, it quit working, and you could only use Dawn, say like in FileZilla. So yeah, I would need to get into that folder right there, root. And I did it before. I saw it yesterday when I was working on this and making a video. An app called Kingo Root that would work on this Alcatel A845L phones, and I did one of them. This one, I think. But then when I rebooted it, it wasn't rooted anymore. The boot turned out the bootloader was protected, and you have to unlock the bootloader and do a bunch of stuff. So I thought, well, one of these days I'll, because I want to put a custom ROM on it and I want to get, so I can get a newer, they're old. They were old when I bought them. That's why I got them for $15 each. But I bought them 3 years ago. So they're running Android 4.3, and I really would like to be able to run a newer version, the newest one I can, because so many apps that I'd like to run and that won't work, and some features in the apps that I have that won't work, say like YouTube app. You can't live stream with the YouTube app that runs on Android 4.3, but you can with the newer ones like 5 and up or whatever. But straight from the phone, What this one will do is you click on it and it'll create a video, make the video, and then it'll automatically say, do you want to upload the video when it's done? You say yes, and it'll upload it for you. And not much, not too much to that. So, and I would like to do find a ROM, either just go to Android website and download the basic Android, or go find a custom ROM. Well, I think I might have to find a custom ROM for that phone to have it work really well. Because I don't use phone service. I didn't do it because I thought I might. One of the reasons I didn't do it. But I actually don't need any of this. Well, that would be the case of getting a ROM for this phone, so you could still use the phone service. Otherwise, I could just use any Android that would run on it, Just look at the processor. I don't remember. I think it's a 6, but I can't remember for sure. But anyway, and get rid of all that garbage that Google put on there. It's put in there from Google that uses up, you can't shut it down. It's using up processing, using up bandwidth, using up memory. So they only have 1 gig of memory. They're quad-core processors, but they only have 1 gig of memory. So I could really make them run good. And they keep filling up it's only 2 gigabyte of onboard flash memory. Onboard ROM, if you want to say that, for the user to use. And then there's a little bit more that, let's see, how does that? I don't know if it's a total 2 or there's 2 for the user and then the rest is the operating system. I can't remember. But anyway, it keeps wanting to fill up. It keeps filling up, and I have to keep, cleaning it up. Even though everything that I send to the SD card, and I make it the default memory for the thing, and that, which does that. But I've discovered that, that I really want all those Google apps that I don't use gone. And I've used an app to uninstall them, and it breaks things. It really messes things up. And it warns you when you do it. This may break things, and it does. So I had to reinstall a bunch of them. So they're just junk apps that I have no interest in, So anyway, yeah, okay. So the pre-shared key thing, I'm thinking I was thinking, well, maybe it would work if I just put it in the directory that it logged me in to, the default directory, which actually is my SD card. And I went straight to my SD card when I logged in, because that's the default storage. Or create it on there, or well, I did wonder. Now, I doubt you could do it on the absolute root of the system, like .ssh. I could make it. Let's see. Try to make one there, and then. But I think that the applications are all going to be looking in one of 2 places, either root.ssh or user, home user.ssh. So I don't think if I put it like where the system logs me into, or the SSH Droid system software logs me into the default folder, that wouldn't work. I'm almost certain. I thought about that, but no, because I've tried over the years experience. Yeah, I don't think that would work. See, it's enough different to kind of make you think hard, but it is still very similar to regular Linux operating system. And then if you switch to the onboard memory, which is where you'd want to put it, you wouldn't want to put it on the SD card, then they'd be gone as soon as you took them. Well, I don't think it would even work on the on the removable SD card. I don't think it would ever find it. The programs you're trying to log in with, you know. And just where it put me there was storage, SD card 1, and then when I did the LS, what did I get? Let's see. LS. So I got these folders here. Oh, wait a minute. Where is it? SD card 1. Oh, you just have Android, movies, and ringtones. That's all that we are able to see there. I'm pretty certain there's more folders than that when you're actually on the phone, you know, going through the directory, say, with like Total Commander. But that's one thing that might be able to connect to it with Total Commander. I'd have to do that in that's a Windows program. I'd have to do that in my Windows XP virtual machine. I'm getting too many things running on this machine to keep streaming and do all that. But I probably could. I don't remember if it did. Well, even if I couldn't do SFTP, I could peruse directories and stuff. But, well, I'm wanting to create a directory. And I can't, but I don't have permission to get in there. So, well, what I'm trying to think is if it would allow me to create a directory somewhere, and would it possibly see it, a net.ssh directory, and then create these files there. I'm on the root of the whole system. I wouldn't just put it there. I don't think I could create anything on the root of the whole system. Okay. Let's see. Maybe the green ones like charger and D and ETC I could go into. Let's see. Let's just see if I can go into ETC. I'm wondering if that's why they're green. Yep. Okay. There we go. There's something I learned. Okay, so the blue ones, I'll bet they're all, can't get into. Let's see what all's in there. Just see if it looks that much different than regular Linux system. Qualcomm, that's the phone service that comes with it. It was a Walmart, got them from Walmart, so that's what all the phone service stuff is in there. Prepaid stuff, prepaid Walmart, what you would use on it. I mean, you could change that if you wanted to, but change the SIM card, but I wouldn't necessarily want to. Okay. CD. My fingers are dyslexic. It's not just my eyes, it's my fingers. Okay. CD. Okay. I have to try one more time. Last time when I tried to go into root, did I put... I don't think you want the trailing / Where is it? Where's the last time I did it a while ago? I don't see it. Permission denied. Permission denied. Permission denied. Okay, so no way I'm getting into root. So if I wanted to create, I don't think I saved any of those commands about creating folders in this here. I'd have to go to the pages with the, because I figured I would do that with a GUI app, and then I had trouble because you can create when you do SFTP into the. I'm almost certain I've done it on the phones with FileZilla. Yeah. Yeah, that's not gonna. Okay, so I'll close this file now. Discard any changes, yes. Not completely giving up yet. I may just try running those commands and see that I could actually even do that. But let's see. I want to see if I can find the folders where there it is. That's my folder where I was learning about that SSH stuff. Android shell command. I don't know which one was the ones that I liked the best. Also, I'll have to just look at them. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Common problems. Built-in shell has very limited error handling. When you type a command name incorrectly, it will say permission denied. Oh, I forgot about that. I remember reading that now. Even though the real problem is that you couldn't find the command, it couldn't find that command. So maybe so that would be. All right. So I do remember one thing, and I tried that. It reminds me of something. So just kind of go through this. And you can't SU, and I'll try it, but I already tried that. SU's not even found. It doesn't even support it. That's to get super user privileges, which, because, the phones are, if it's not rooted, you can't do that. But if it does work, it changes from a $ to a number sign. That's pretty, see, it's a $. So you don't have root privileges. I don't know if that's just all Linux terminals. I never noticed that before, or if it's just Android. And let's see, make sure that I'm still working. I stopped talking for a second there, and let's see if I'm even. There we go. Yeah, I stopped talking for longer than I realized. When I start thinking and reading, of course, you don't need to talk just to hear your head rattle, but sometimes I do it for a long time, and I'm sure somebody just started in. People, long videos like this, people are going to skip through them, so you're just sitting there. Completely silent for too long, I think it can be people like, what? What's going on? Did they lose their sound? Okay. A lot of these are listed. In this one, it's a good one, but they're listed and they don't always tell you what all they do. But it is a real good list of commands that this guy figured out works in Android. Monkey, make a directory, M-O-N-K-E-Y. Monkey or monkey, what is that? Let's see. Monkey, M-O-N-K-E-Y. Let's try to remember that. Okay. Move. I did not think that was a command in Linux to make a directory. I don't use them. I'm scared of them. I use the GUI apps to do things like that, especially delete and move and things like that. I try to stay away from them because I make too many mistakes. Remove a directory. Yeah, those are the ones I would pretty much stay away from them in the terminal window, unless I was really desperate to get something done. Oh yeah, in this article, the titles are not above like usual. The titles to these things, what I consider them to be titles, they're below. So I guess he considers command explanation, But I was reading this I was thinking title command, and finally after reading through a whole bunch of this, being confused about what he was saying, I finally realized, SU starts a shell with root privileges, because I was down there. That's when I really realized it. that far down. I've been reading them. I wasn't skipping like I am now. BusyBox. The BusyBox is a terminal it's a terminal window program that you can run in a terminal, and but it has a bunch of built-in apps, and I think you can just type in BusyBox. Let's see. Let's go to Monkey first. M-O-N-K. I already forgot. Monkey or Monkey. M-O-N-K-E-Y. Okay, so let's try that. I just want to see if I can do it. Okay, so I got some output probably telling me you didn't do that right. M-O-N-K-E-Y. Okay, I'll see. Did it work? No, it's telling me that error count is not a number. Huh. Oh. Again, I was reading it wrong. A program that sends random events used to test applications like having a monkey playing with the device. I remember reading that. Okay, see, I'm reading it wrong again. Make a directory. Make dir. Now that's, yeah, mkdir. I just couldn't remember what it was. lsmod, lsoff. I remember seeing those all the times, but I just kind of skim over them and don't use them. So mkdir. Let's go ahead, get into one of these that has some more exact examples. I might want to run BusyBox though. I think you can just start BusyBox like that. Let's see. BusyBox, multi-call binary, usage, BusyBox function, arguments, list full, install, arguments. Comes with common Unix utilities into a single executable. Most people will create a link to BusyBox for each function that they use. What I'm wondering now is, do I have to call BusyBox and then the command? I think so. BusyBox list, BusyBox install. Okay, let's try that one there. BusyBox list. We'll just copy it and paste it. See if, I think that's the way you have to use it. Currently defined functions, lots of them. And there's your commands though. That's a quick way to help you use it. Yep. So that makes it list. Looks like maybe all I don't know if it's all folders. I think this file's and folders on the root directory. Absolute root of the system, not the root user. Okay, BusyBox. Can't do Control V to paste. Paste. BusyBox. What was I gonna do? Forgot what I was gonna do. Oh, SU. Yes, still not there. Okay, so I can either use BusyBox or just whatever's available, but I type BusyBox in front of it. Okay. Now, easily make an SSH connection from your Android. Well, that was one of the ways I found the commands to do that. Oh, this is an app to do that with, right? Oh, is this going from your Android to your? Some of them I saved them because they were interesting. I think that's going from your Android to your phone, to your computer. Yeah, client, that'll get you connected to a server. Okay, so that's not at all what we're wanting. How do I install an APK from a terminal emulator? And I saw that's pretty interesting, but I'm not going to try that. You have to put that APK somewhere and then install it with the commands. It can be done, just not too hard at all. As long as you can copy and paste some commands. How to access your Android from which is what I'm doing right now, no root. And I don't remember if this was one that I liked real well, but ls, make dir, find, etc. Get this server. This might be that server. Yeah, this is that server that's open source, which I would try out, but my you got to have Android 5 or 6 to run this. I went and looked at it, and it won't run on my phones. So, but it's completely open source and everything. So I think I might actually no missing features like SSH Droid. No control from your smartphone. That's opposite. Not what I want. And so I think, oh, there we go. I skipped one. Yeah, I remember this one now. Now here's a good long list. That thing there drives me crazy. I can't read with that in view. I want it won't go away. Last time I just left it alone, but boy, it makes it dang near impossible for me to. Yeah, block element. Good. Thank you. Thank you, AdBlock Plus. Some of them are not that easy. They're in so many different parts. You got to find the right part. Okay. Make dir makes a directory. mkdir. Let's try that. That's what I was trying to do. Can't create directory, read-only file system. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I would have to go back to, let's see, cd, see if that works. Yeah, cd. Oh, it's not just SD card. I got to go back and look at the command now. Let's go back up there and find the one that gets you there. SD card 1. Storage. There we go. SD card 1. CD. SD card 1. Okay, now then. Make sure I got that command right. mkdir.ssh. I made it. Now then. Now we're in that directory. Nothing in there. Now, so I was able to do that, which I figured I could, but I don't think that it would be found. I'm going to do it. I mean, it's not really going to hurt anything, I don't believe. Let's see, is there any other? I don't think there's any reason to go through all. There's a long list of commands. It's a pretty good page. But, and I think with that thing that was moving, seems like there may be, I'm going to close it because I think it uses up resources too much. Okay, so we're going to go back to, and I jibble-jabbered over that in the previous video today. Went over it quite a bit. And I'm not good at reading instructions out loud, so I won't do it again. But this is the Fedora page. This is the one that's got short and sweet version of how to create an RSA key pairs. And this is going to be the newer version. I'm on Fedora 28. It tells you all about the older versions and stuff, and that they're no longer used that way and everything. So I'm going to run this command. Get it to copy. It's really weird how I can't go left to right, and it doesn't want to do it. Sometimes I go right to left, and it'll do it fine. So, okay, now. So I'm probably just playing now. I don't really expect this to work, but let's do it. Okay, you can't run that command. Keygen not found. Okay, probably didn't have that program on there. Let's find out. We'll try BusyBox. So I guess, yeah, the Keygen program that creates the RSA key is not on the phone. All right, so there answers our questions, my questions, maybe only my questions about this. You have so yeah, the SSH Droid. It's more to, I was saying, well, I wonder if all there is to it supporting pre-shared keys is just doing this. No, there's more to it than that. You got to have the keygen program. I'm sure the SSH Droid app, whoever wrote that, they know where they can put the pre-shared keys and have it work, probably in the folder of SSH Droid or something. I just now thought of that. But it doesn't matter. I just created the folder that I wanted, .ssh folder on the user writable portion of the onboard memory, and I still can't create my keys, so I'm stuck. You can't do it. So that was a lot of fun. Ha ha ha. But at least now I know, and there would be a whole lot more to do. But this one that I was talking about, where is it? Let's see if I can find it again. SSH not root. I think that's where that app's mentioned. Let's see. No. Yes. SSH helper app. Let's see if it's the one that's. I'm trying to see. I'm looking for open source. I'm not sure if this is even the article I want. Huh. Well, I guess I'll have to actually read then. Let me see. Oh, I think I might have put the. SSH helper. I think that is it. I wasn't going to read a bunch of this article when I'm not gonna be doing it. I can't do it. Let's see. Yeah, SSH helper app. Okay, so the SSH helper app. Maybe this is where I saw that it was open source. Oh, I think maybe they do it like that. Open, yes, dash source. That's not the way you write that out. That's how they did it. It's a free open source app. So yeah, I would, and it's GPL license. So that's the one I would use if I could. But it also tells you somewhere. Well, I know at the top of this, for me, it's not compatible with my devices. My phones are all the exact same model, Alcatel 845L phones. And somewhere I saw, the 5.0. You got to have. Oh no, that's somebody's comment. Somewhere it tells you, yeah, requires 5.0 and up. Okay. And mine's 4.3. Close, but not quite. Okay, so, but I would really try this one. Will it do RSA? Let's see if that's mentioned in there. Not mentioned. So I'm not sure if it'll do it or not. Doesn't matter for me because keys. Yeah, looks like it automatically installs the keys. I think. I'm not going to go deeply into this since I can't do it, but yeah, you could. It looks to me like that one would actually. See what this article is. I never went to. Yeah, terminal commands. It would do it for set you up, and you wouldn't even have to do all this manually anyway. So yeah, a bunch more commands. Okay, so now let's switch back to what we actually need to be doing. Okay. just going to close this terminal. See, I think I will save it. This is kind of a cool thing. Let's go back to the top. I want to copy my, I just copy that whole command. Yeah. That's going to be part of my file name. Save output as documents, Linux commands, and I'm going to go ahead and do this. Oh, that was phone 3 again. And see if I can paste those in there. Uh-oh. I didn't get it. I didn't get my text. It doesn't look like. Oh. It may just be not responding. Sometimes that happens, especially when I'm making videos and getting too many things going. Oh, yeah, sometimes this locks things up and causes real trouble. I better look. Yep, it's trying to jack up my computer. I'm in trouble is what it is. Well, no. So far, it's okay. But if it starts climbing in memory usage, I'm in trouble. I might have hit cancel quick enough. Yeah, I think when I hit cancel, it saved me. Good. Okay. That closed though. Well, that's all right. I lost that terminal output, but I'd forgotten that had started doing that. It's happened to me yesterday. It was fine and no trouble, but today, that was going to use up all my memory on my machine, and if I didn't catch it quick enough, I would, break my stream and everything. So, put that back like that. I want to stay in that folder and mess things up in there. Backup. That's my backup video. I kind of like to make sure they're still. Once it gets over a gig, then it doesn't change very fast. So you have to just kind of look in every once in a while to see if it's still growing in size. Okay, everything still looks okay. Let's make sure my. Yeah. Okay, so can't do. I'm going to go ahead and close Crusader though because it kind of got whacked up, and if I needed, I may need it again in a minute, but that'll be fine. All right, now let's go ahead and do what I've been doing on the other phones. Go open up Lucky Backup, and then I will set me up a profile. Profile for the onboard memory and my SD card to back them up. And I use super user, not the regular user. I didn't mention that just now. I've been, that's why I did the search and it came up Lucky Backup, and you have two entries that come up, one for regular user and one for super user. I want to set it up in super user so that I can set up cron jobs to run them automatically. The regular user can't do that. And the reason that's blank is because I forgot that and set it all up in regular user when I built this system, and then I imported all my work into here, but you can't name it default, so I named it default Dawn. So I've already done 3, 2, and now I'm going to do 1. But I'm going to open up 2, modify and advanced here so I can see everything, so I can copy the things I need. Like first thing I know I need is SD card. Oh, that's not actually that. You just want to get it right, So the remote, that's going to be, well, I need that. That's actually either one. I have to close this. I'll just have to open and close it a few times, I guess. Of course, the IP address is going to be different. It's going to be the phone 1's IP address, which I've forgotten already, so I'll have to open up the browser and get that. It's the quickest way for me to get it. Okay, so, yeah, you can't go over here and do anything else while that's open. So I'm going to hit cancel on that. And modify that one. Phone 1. I want to get where I can read everything here. There we go. Okay, now I'm not going to use any excludes. Normal include just like usual. Good. This was backing. It was getting it from when I plug my SD card into a USB adapter and plug it into this machine. It was getting it from there. So now it's going to be changed to be SD card O, but it's going to be the remote host, the source, and I had tried that before. I don't think that's the right. I know that's not the right IP address, though. I'm almost certain. We'll see. Could have been the IP it had at that. Yeah, it was probably way back when it was on the TP-Link router, and I'm on the newer D-Link router, DP-Link router. Okay, phone 1. Now I don't have the. I'm going to just copy it, but all I need is the IP. I don't have the camera running on it, just the SSH Droid app. Okay, so what was it? Yeah, it's 194. Okay, so we'll get rid of that. Yeah, I think I tried to do it from memory and didn't remember. And then port 2222, and I can't just go to that file. Oddly enough, when you open it up, it goes right to the root.ssh folder. But when I try to go through my file system and try to go to home, .ssh, you can't see any dot folders. It won't do it. That's really weird, but that's the way it does. Okay, so I go and I'll have to close this, say okay. And then I'll have to open it. I'll open that other one back up and get where I can get it out of Crusader and all this stuff, but I've already got the whole line copied up here, so it doesn't really matter which one I get it from. They're the same, but like that one should have it too. Remote, yeah. So I need the address of home Dawn. Did I get that copy? HomeDawn.ssh ID RSA, and that is the private key that you want. So now I'm going to do that. Modify. Kind of a round and round way to do it, but it works. So there we go. Now, before I do close it, okay, you can't say save. You just close it, and that saves it. So. Remote host, the source is one, the phone. The port 2222. That's what SSH Droid's default port is. You can change it, but like I was saying earlier, I leave it like that. I have to make sure I don't end up with trouble because it might be something in the app. I'm afraid that might give me trouble. So then over here, leave this as I had it previously, except for. I'm not going to skip newer destination files. And always make sure you have a lucky backup when you start a new profile, backup profile. The delete files on destination is checked by default. And the only time you want that is when you're trying to mirror your backup, your present folder and your backup folder. So your backup would always just be a mirror of whatever you got now. Well, that's not what I want, and most of the time when you're backing up, that's not what you want. What you want is to keep backing up everything that you feel you need, and any file, say if a file's been deleted on your system, you want it to stay on your backup in case it was a mistake. So yeah, always uncheck this unless you really, as it says in Lucky Backups instruction, unless you really know what you're doing. So that's how I'm going to want that. The name I haven't changed yet. Let's see, remote. I'll put that IP address in there. Okay. Phone Android 1, SD card 2. Oh, I probably made name those other ones kind of funny. Yeah, I did. Phone to there. Yeah, phone to at IP address SD card to the US 4.5 terabyte USB backup drive. Okay. Oh, and do the validate, because if there is something wrong, it'll tell you. But a lot of times it'll say it looks good when it's actually still not going to work. But so you really have to check and check and check your work. Make sure you're getting it right. The only reason I'm able to go fairly fast here is because this is I've already done it 4 times. This is the 5th time I've done it. The only thing is just the differences in the IP addresses and stuff. On mine, this backup drive is an NTFS, so you want to check that. So you and if you're using a regular ext4 or whatever Linux type file system, then it's generally used on Linux, and you would not want to check that one. Okay, no also execute. Say okay. Now I'm going to do a dry run to see, and let's just deselect these. We don't want the dry run to take too long. Those are my normal everyday backups. See, so I'm still going to have to do all these phones manually and type in the password each time as it goes. But that's okay, at least it'll work. The reason I was trying to do the pre-shared key is I was hoping that I could just leave all those checked, and then all I would have to do is turn on the phones, open up, run SSH droid, and it would automatically back them all up. But that's not going to happen unless I guess it wouldn't happen on my phones unless I upgraded the operating system so that I could run that newer SSH app, server app, and the one that's open source, and then it should work. So now I know that. I won't have that in the back of my head thinking, well, maybe one of these days I'll do that. Okay, so we're going to try now it asks you, do you trust that key? So yes or no. YES. Now you want your password. Had to go look at it again. Too much going through my head. Okay, now that's how quick it did that check. 4 errors found, which is not uncommon to have some errors. Let's see. Some files were not transferred. And then if you go back up here, it doesn't tell you much about that. But if you go back through there, if there's any errors in the middle there, you'll see they'll be red. The only errors we have is, it's that. I don't know that that's really an error. I think it's just a message saying, I confirmed that I can't log in as admin, with root admin. It has to be. I just remembered I don't think I put the username in there and it still worked. I must have logged in as root. Since I didn't specify a username, it just took the default username. And that would be the SSH droid app, how it works. Anyway, this is the error. The only actual error is the SD card Android secure folder permission denied. Well, that's 1, 2, 3. Where's the 4th error? Yeah, I think all the ones in red are considered errors to this system. Maybe that's the 4th one there. Some files were not transferred. See previous code. I guess that's how they count up to 4 errors. But so everything would be good. That's important. Getting my pictures, any of the files on the system that I probably would never need most of those system files, but that's fine. There should be a bunch of videos. No, those aren't videos. There they are. A whole bunch of videos that will be backed up. Now those videos. Oh, well, there's some more there. Oh, that was the same ones. Yeah, there might not be as many videos on here as I originally thought. It might have been the one that I did yesterday that's actually going to take the longest. So we'll take that out. Let's look. Modify, advanced. Oh, Dawn's in there. It might have already been in there. Yeah, because I remember there was an IP address. I'm pretty sure I forgot to type it in there, but it was already there because I had previously tried it and never got it working. Forgot how to do it. Okay, so I needed that. Got to get all those things that you need from somewhere. Okay, remote. We need, now this, I'll copy it, but then I'll change it to SD card 1. Hit cancel. Go to this one. Okay, now this one is going to be, oh, that one, see, now this is when I tried to figure it out. I thought you needed to type the address up in here. Oh, it says storage SD card 1, but it has, and I just didn't understand how you set it up. That's what made sense to me, is to put it into there. That's not how you do it. You put it like that. You know, this is as if you were on the machine locally, and then and the destination I didn't pay any attention to, but that's the same. I want it in the same destination. Remote source is, and that says 110 too. This was where I was trying to do it, and the IP is wrong. Okay, well I still have that open. So same IP, it's the same phone. It's just the onboard memory, onboard flash memory. Phone 1. Yeah, phone 1. Okay, now, then the port. Okay, now I gotta go copy that address to the private key. Say okay, so I can get out of there and open this one up. This may seem like a lot of running around clicking, but it's way easier for me than trying to type all that out, because I will go, even though I could, well, I forget, that's long enough for me to forget it, but even if I remembered it, I would type it wrong. So it's better for me to do it this way. A lot of people, you know, lots of people are pretty good at typing accurately, and so it probably seems kind of crazy. Crazy is as crazy does, though, right? Okay, so yeah, that's SD card 1, right IP address, user Dawn. Okay, and we don't want to skip the newer files. That's all good there. Anything else? Oh, the name. I don't remember what was, oh yeah. If I'd remember, I could phone 1, internal storage. Let's just make sure I know that it's going to a remote host and not the USB has to be plugged in. See, I keep it's always stay behind on backing these up, because it's such a pain to get those two, phone 1 and 2, out of the tripods and stuff with my mounts, my rubber band mounts and everything. So it says it should be okay. So that's a good sign. And so now all I have to do is let's look this over here. Okay. Now all I have to do is you know, uncheck those, check these. I can check all of them, actually. I can turn on SSH Droid on all of my phones, check all these, and click run. So, but then it'll start asking me to log in, and I'll have to do that. So I'll have to kind of sit there and monitor it, but that'll be much better. Okay, now we're going to do another dry run. And the password. And it's really, really fast on that one. One error found, which is the username message. See, that's considered an error. Really weird. That's really not an error. That's just a notice. But I guess that's just how Lucky Backup reads it, as an error. So see, there's very little files in there. This actually usually does write something because this is the onboard flash memory. So some of this is system, the system folders that the regular users are allowed to access. And see, I have my flash cards set up as flash memory cards set up as SD cards set up as the default for everything that possibly can be, so that these little video onboards won't get filled up. So now I can do that and run it. Before I run it, I'll see this Acer laptop, and I don't even remember doing that. So let's see what it was I was doing. Oh, that's how I copied my website over to the laptop once I got the server set up on it. And so the Acer laptop. So this is a remote connection then. See, it says it up at the top, the IP address. So, but I could tell by that folder, var www.html, that's where your web server is. So I copied it from my backup of my website to the var, folder and that's how I copied my website over. Normal include, remote, root. Now this time I used root because I had to. You have to be root to do that. That's on that folder. You have to have root access. Port 22. And I didn't even put in that where the private key file is. You know what? That's what I was kind of thinking. I don't think putting that in there is actually doing you any good unless you're actually using the keys on both sides, So actually having that in there, after I had done it, I thought, you know what? I think that's really just lying dormant. I bet you anything it is. So, because that's empty. But I'm going to leave them like they are because they're working. It's not going to matter one way or the other, I don't think. So I'm pretty certain. I mean, I don't know. I guess I could go in and take them out. I'm afraid it would make it not work. I can find out by running this, I guess. Well, no, I don't really want to do that. Yeah, because that would take a good while for it to run. There's about 2 gigabytes of website data. But so there you go. I kept saying that yesterday, or I'm not sure I need that in there, but I was putting it in there because at first I thought I needed it, and then it worked, and then I thought, you know what, I'm not sure if I actually need that. Yeah, it tells you right there. Enter the full path of the authentication tree. Leave blank if not applicable. Note that you have to do all actions needed for a password-less SSH remote connection using open SSH key pair. And I know I can't set that up, so you know what? Let's try taking those out of this one and see. This one I don't have. Yeah, see, I didn't have it's not NTFS. That's a Linux system, so I have it selected the way it needs to be for that. Well, I just had a feeling I wanted to look in there. All right, so let's go. We've already done the dry run. So let's edit these two to get rid of that. Let's copy it in case I need it. And then delete it out of there. Okay, say okay. Do this one. Because these phones, it's probably going to end up just confusing me. And that's what I'm afraid of, leaving it in there, is even though it's not hurting anything. And these phones, unless I, reflash the ROMs and everything, they're never going to be able to use that pre-shared key thing. But I might see it and say, let's see if we can set that up again, because I'll forget all I've done here. It happens to me sometimes. Okay, so I'm doing oops, let me type this password. I'm doing a dry run again. Yeah. Oh, and now it's already done the first one. See, that's how fast you would. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be that fast, but on those little bitty ones. Okay, so 4 errors found. It would have been 284. What? That's only one files, but only 1.38 kilobytes. It should be a lot more than that. I guess it's both of them in there this time, unless it only shows the last one I did. May have. Yeah, it may be only showing. See if there's any videos in that list. Pictures. So yeah, DCIM and yeah, there they are. I don't know why it's showing 101.38 kilobyte of files. Maybe that doesn't. It's not accurate when it's just a dry run. I'm not sure. But APK files, all those are getting backed up. Yeah, no, that was the first run. I don't know about those messages. They've always kind of been hard for me to decipher what it's exactly talking about. See, this one is just a few, 100, maybe 101.38, 1.30, not 100, 1.38 kilobytes. But, and then again, maybe that's the accurate reading of what was actually transferred to do the dry run, not what would be transferred if you were doing it for real. Maybe that's what that is. But it's going to be fine. It didn't error up. It didn't say can't do it. So I don't need those in there. I don't need that pointing to that RSA. I'm going to have to get the cough drop. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take those, take them out of all those profiles, so that I don't get all turned around next time after I've slept on it. Slept, not on it, but slept on something else. Thinking about, after I've done something different. So, let's go up here and just do each one. No remote. No private key, no remote, no private key needed. Yeah, okay, well, I was kind of thinking I would be wasting too much time trying to write out, I really want to get this stuff backed up, get the videos uploaded. I'm having to back them up because they didn't get uploaded to, normally I'll just let them upload to Google Photos and then transfer them over to YouTube. But started to say I could check all these, but I just did them and haven't added anything to them, so let's don't do that. It'll just make it take longer. So I'm just going to let it run these two, take off that dry run, and but they didn't. Some of the files got skipped, some of the video files, and what I was talking about that yesterday. The phones kept acting. Well, phone 1 especially kept acting up and rebooting itself and stuff, and I finally had to quit using it and switch to phone 2 the other day. So generally that kind of stuff happens when I was trying to move it around with it plugged in, and like if the connection it doesn't come all the way out, but it just wiggles enough to lose connection and reconnect, it'll make that app. Usually it just makes the app, the video quit recording and the app stays open, and it really fools you. Sometimes the app will close, but the phone was just flat rebooting. And actually, what crazy thing that happened is it just got locked into reboot mode. It wouldn't do anything but. And then, so I just put it down and got another one. And then later, I knew what I was going to have to do. I took the battery out, put it back in, and then it was fine again. So, all three of these phones can do crazy things like that sometimes, and maybe that's common. I don't know. But these are the only phones I've ever had. These three, got them all within 2 weeks of each other. But so let's run this. Now it's going to password. Okay, I got it right. Okay, so now it's backing it up, and it's going to ask me. And yesterday when I did phone 2, it took at least a couple hours, or maybe longer. And I was off in the other room, stopped making video because it obviously wasn't going to finish. And I was off in the other room, came back, and it was a password prompt was up. And I thought, well, I guess it's going to the next profile. I typed it in, and it went, just quick as you could snap, quicker than you could snap your fingers, it was done. And that's because it was that little tiny amount of data. And so I'm sure that's what it'll do, is once it gets through it, I guess it's just doing them in the order they are in the window there. So the SD card with all the videos, that's the first one it's doing. And then it'll go to the onboard memory, which is, hardly anything. It will be a few files that'll back up. And but I'll have to type my password. It'll just, I don't know if it'll time out. I know I was in the other room and I came back in here and it was still sitting there waiting and it worked. But I hope it'll wait for a really long. It might have a timeout at some point. It might be 20 minutes or something. But so then you might have to run it again. If you're doing a real short one, you might do it by itself and say, I did those two together. So you, if you're running 2 profiles like this, and if you don't have to type the password in twice, then you better double check that they both ran, especially if one of them's really, really short and it could go by while you're blinking your eyes. And see, now that's the other thing. I want to see now, before I, give up on all this, I want to see if I can, let's make sure my video's still making good stream. Okay, so, go to my video. I'm just trying to, I don't know why I'm even doing that, but I just didn't want to leave it on that page. Yeah, there's my last 2 live streams. That's actually really one video, but my stream broke right in the middle there. So I'm going to upload the backup video. You see, I always make a backup video onto my computer at the same time I'm streaming, in case of something like that. I haven't even gone and renamed them yet or anything yet. What's that? Oh, this is the one I'm doing now. And then that would be, let's see, May 21. This is May 22. So these are the ones from yesterday that got broken half. This is the one I'm doing right now. So, looks like it's got 2 views. So, I'm sure they didn't stay too long. Yeah, one of these videos like this that are long, I mean, I watch them, but I skip through the stuff that, once in a while, if I'm really interested, I just want to chill, I'll watch an hour of video, Probably wouldn't watch 2 hours and stuff like that and more. Not without skipping through it, I mean. But I've watched some long conference videos, and I have watched the whole thing on them, because if you skip, you don't know what they're talking about, like how to do things, Fedora or whatever, So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to hook. I can't do it in Crusader. I can't set up pre-shared keys so that I can hook up Crusader to that thing. Actually, I'm still not 100% sure that Crusader will even do that anymore. I could try that on my Acer laptop. That it would probably, if it was going to work, it would work over there. And at some point, I might even want to do that. Okay, I'm trying to think. I'm going to open up FileZilla again. Let's try it one more time. Now let's try Midnight Commander. Let's see. Yeah, I won't open up Crusader. I'll just open up the terminal and open up Midnight Commander. Okay. Let's see. I don't need to be root over here. What is it I want to try to do? I just want to try to go through the phone's folders. What was I going to do? Oh, I wanted to compare the ones I've already done. So this is Midnight Commander, twin panel file manager that runs in the terminal. And it will, see, does the mouse work in here? Yeah, the mouse will work in this terminal. I think in some of the older terminals it won't. But Well, first, let's go to our backup. We need to go to where do we want to go? Let's see. We're going to get out of the, we want to go to run media, and you can't type in here though. You have to use the up and down arrow keys. You can't start typing like you can in Crusader. There we go. The 8 terabyte and the 2 gig backup drive. Let's do phone 2. We're doing phone 1 right now. So yeah, we'll go into phone 2. It works really nicely. I like it. Go into the videos folder. These are the main thing I'm interested in backing up. You can reorganize it by date, but that's not. I'm not going to try to visually, and look at it. Let's see. Can you click over there? Yeah, you can. So that's actually. I learned how to use the keyboard to navigate this thing, because in some terminals you won't do that. It might be the older, not the terminal so much, but the operating system that you're running it in. Now, open a terminal here. I'm just wondering what you could do by right-clicking. Oh, that's the terminal. Yeah, left. Oh, okay, right. There we go. I want to connect to SFTP 0.182. What is that? I wonder. How's that going? Yeah, that's going to take a while. See, it's at 63. Usually they're going up to like 80% before it slows down, but probably does have some big videos in there like I was expecting. But let's go back to my browser so that I can get the IP address of the machine I want. I'm going to go to 2 right now. See, 1's being copied. 2 is the one I wanted to go to. So I'm going to get that IP address, 141. Whoops, wrong window. Actually, I can just type 141. There we go. Hit enter. I did something wrong. I believe I should have put the port in there. Oops, what happened there? Paste Control V didn't work. I think maybe I need to put the port, and I just remembered it's not 22, it's 2222. Password. No, yeah. Okay, connected. Whoops, shouldn't have done that. I don't know if it. I hit the wrong thing. Let's see. I'm back on the local machine. I forgot how to do that. Can you know? This button's got 2 extra buttons. You can go right, back and forward in the browsers and some programs. Let's see. I forgot how you go back, forward, or whatever. But this, I put myself on the root of the whole system now. I hit the wrong thing. I had not thought about this, really. You could actually do your backup this way if you wanted to. Link, huh? Okay, well, let's rescan. No, all I know to do is just do SFTP again. I don't know if I'm going to be. I think I just opened 2 pipes to the same one. So if I hit that, see, if I just hit enter right there, I always do that. I always hit enter or go to the back, left, go back to get to the root of where I'm at. But in this particular program, see, it shows you're at SFTP I'm in the right place. But you are at the root, so don't do that. It'll take you back to your local machine. So here's the folder layout of the phone, and see if there's anything. Yeah, there's stuff in the mount. Oh, that's where you can get to your SD card, different things like that. There's the root folder. Can't go in there. I figured that. Whoops. There. Got to hit exit twice. I don't know where I'm going to be. Oh, good. I thought it was going to take me back to the machine again. I know there's a way on the keyboard to get back. You know, when you accidentally go back to your local machine, but I don't remember it right now. There's SD card right there, evidently. Storage. Well, that's another way to get in. That shows you all of them. That's emulated. It gets you to legacy. Now that's the onboard. I'm pretty sure we can find. Yeah, see that's empty. The DCIM, so that's the onboard because I don't store any videos in there or anything. SD card. DCIM. So that's what I want to compare as open camera. Well, I want to compare them all, but yeah, let's compare them all. I don't want to do everything. I don't want to mess with, I don't want to delete any of my files that might be needed. And I haven't made any PDFs or done anything like that, so there's not going to be anything in there. I want to be in DCIM. The camera has videos. See, I want to make sure, darn sure these are all backed up, and then I can delete them. Now, in this case, I can actually click over there. Otherwise, you've got to navigate with the keyboard. And there seems to be one extra folder in there. Yeah, okay. Make sure I'm in. Yeah. I like how it shows you the whole. You can read enough to know where you're really at. So that is phone 2, DCIM, Strontium SD card. Okay, now. I think there is actually a sync. Let's see. No, not a sync. Hope it didn't stop. Let's see. You can change file permissions. I've used this quite a bit recently. When I'm setting up my Fedora 29 web server and I didn't have a GUI, I needed to be able to do all these things, and it was way easier to do it remotely like this and use this to change file permissions and do stuff than it was to would be for me to try to do it in the terminal on that machine. So I did, and it just well, and I can make videos. Usually I was making a video too, so. I can make videos of terminal work on another machine by using a remote terminal. I mean, this time I'm not using the remote terminal. I just opened up a terminal and then remotely connected via SFTP with Midnight Commander. I was thinking there was a sync function in here. Compare. Well, that's really what I'm wanting to do is compare. I was just going to use sync because sync always tells you, first thing it does, like in Crusader, it compares, and then it tells you, do you want to do this? Compare directories. Select compare method. Quick, size only, thorough, cancel. Well, let's see. Say quick and see what happens. I don't see anything. Is it just taking a while and it's not telling me, or what? Down there is a little terminal readout down there, but it's not doing anything. I want to see files with these things in front of them. Actually, it wouldn't matter for what I'm doing here. Set it in the configuration dialog. Let's see. Let's look at it again. I'm afraid thorough will take a long time because there are some big files. Maybe it's not recursing into the directories. Let's just say thorough. I'm not sure. You know, this is not. I know that this is a very old program and that it doesn't work exactly like the newer ones. Let's try to compare files now. Oh, it's a directory. Yeah, so you have to get into the directories in order to do that. Okay. Well, I tried everything I can see to do there with the directory, so. Yeah, there's where you set the configuration and all that stuff. And I have used, turned on my sound over there and I don't, okay, good. I have used these settings to like rearrange them with the newest files on top, things that I like to do, you know. I don't know how to, I guess if I hit escape, there we go. Hit escape twice and you get out of that. Okay, so let's go into open camera on both sides and we'll compare files because that's what I'm wanting to do. Compare files. What? Run media strontium DCIM is a directory. Okay. Maybe you have to select files or something. Let's try directory compare again, see if that works. I'm going to say thorough. Oh, okay. Oh, now it changed the colors of them so you can just look at them? Really? That's all you do? So I guess that doesn't make sense. I've never tried this in this program before. I don't know. If they're all yellow, does that mean they're all the same? Probably. You wouldn't know unless you had some that you knew for sure weren't the same. Okay. Well, here's a way to probably tell. Let's see. What folder are we in? Camera. Okay. Now maybe that'll tell me. Compare directories. Thorough. No? See, these are a whole bunch of files over here that aren't over there. That I can, well, you still don't know for sure. So that's not helping me. I don't know how you're supposed to use that. But I should be able to oops, keep getting in the wrong section there. Let's see, rescan. I wanted to get rid of that highlighting is what I wanted to do. There we go. I don't know if the last operation might be. But what I can do is, well, that doesn't work. I was going to hold down shift and, select them all. How do you select them all? Oh, let's see. I think you have to do, yeah, there's copy, pull down, quit, help. There we go. Hold down shift and use the arrow keys to do that. Now they're selected. Okay. So yellow means selected. So yeah, that maybe I really wasn't doing any comparing. I hadn't done something right. Okay, now copy. Where is it? 5. So I believe you have to hit control. Or do you just hit 5? No, you hit control 5, I believe. The number 5, not the F5. I learned that the hard way. I didn't do anything. It's only been a couple months or two since I ran this. You'd think I'd remember it. click to select that one. There we go. Okay, now they're all selected. Could be Shift 5, I guess. Let's see. Well, I'm on. It doesn't matter if I accidentally delete those. I'm gonna delete them once I guess I can manually kind of look at them. Why does those look like? Oh, okay. The first numbers are the same, and these other numbers are different. I do not see, assuming they're in the same order. 47. Not sure if they've been copied. 2018. Okay, 2018. Oh, I think they're in different orders. Yep, 2018. Oh, I see. They're probably in alphabetical order. So, yeah, I'm always keeping my newest ones on top. So that's what I'm used to. Yeah. So, 47, there it is. 55, 49, 720, 41, 10. Yeah. Of course, they're show up in kilobytes, so those numbers are so long, and I can't read that long a number, especially to compare. So that's why I don't use this all the time. But if you know, in this case, it's the only way I've been able to remotely connect. So I could try FileZilla again. Let's see if this is still running. Yeah, it's still got a lot of work to do. It's going to be a while. But okay, so copy. I guess I could try clicking it. Oh yeah, the mouse works in this one, dummy. Okay, so copy 6 files. Follow links, preserve attributes, dive into subfolder if it exists. Oh, okay, so you could copy subfolders and do that. So using shell parameters. Okay, so yeah, so this should just be I just want normal copy attributes. So let's leave that if it can do it. Okay, what does it say? Target already exists. You see, you can do yes, no, or a pin. Override all targets, or you could do that. We could all, update, none. So I can say, I'm going to say no. Of course, you could say append, and then if the files weren't completely written, it would, oh. I didn't expect it to do anything. I guess append doesn't really mean, it's just going to override it. Yeah, it takes a little while on that file, so I won't keep doing that because I'm pretty sure they're, since it's, you know, it sees them as the same file, same size and all that, I believe. Make sure, but how big is that file? Yeah, it's not too quick of a transfer there. For some reason these phones, well, this is a different phone though. It's not the same one that I'm doing like a backup on, but I was going to switch over there and look at it, but I kind of want to wait and see what's going on here. But yeah, that's a pretty slow transfer rate. The phones just don't. I've got gigabit Ethernet and, you know, I think around 800 realistically on the Wi-Fi. The phones, their top is like 72 megabits, but they generally show to be running. Yesterday I saw their speeds. It was 52 megabits. Said they were connected at 52 megabits. Sometimes they'll get down to 35, but so they should be around 30 to 52, maybe jumping up to 70 something once in a while. But they're copying at a way slower speed than that. Now, I think I just selected that for one file because the second row of answers was for all files. But I don't want to mess it up by interrupting it. Yeah. So overwrite this target. So I hit append, yes, no, or append. I guess append is maybe a quicker way to do it. It looks for any differences. It still took a while. All update none. I don't know why it doesn't say all append. Doesn't make sense. If size differs. Okay, let's do that. See, nothing happened. Okay, so now I can actually delete those. Now, how do you delete it? Well, you can click delete here. Yeah, that's phone 2. Oh, it couldn't do it. Well, it did. Thought I had them. Okay, I didn't. Let's get them all selected again. There. Hit delete again. Let's see if it can do them all. Oh, it did it. I thought I was going to have to answer that. Okay, so it does work. I don't know. Maybe I didn't have them all selected or something. It's kind of tricky. The coloring is weird. It's not what I'm used to with Crusader. Whoops. Cannot execute commands on non-local file system. Well, I didn't want to execute a command. I just wanted to go back a directory. There we go. That was weird. All I did was hit enter. What's that? I didn't know there was videos in there. Okay, so now we'll go in that 100 sign. Actually, let's do it this way. Let's say copy 100 sign. It's that one. Yeah, there's videos in there. Okay, so say copy. Where's the copy? There it is. Okay, so basically I'm kind of well, now this is, I'm kind of manually backing them up now because it's just the only way I'm being able to find to confirm that my backups worked. After I kind of get to where I feel like it's working, then I won't have to be quite as, I won't redo it over and over like this, you know. But it's the first time I've done it from these phones with Lucky Backup over the remote like this, so I'm a little more leery. I'm doing it again from within the folder, if size different. Okay, so yeah, those are all, and they should all still be selected, so let's see if we hit delete if it'll do them all or not. Yeah, it did them all. Okay, so, and when I hit enter, it thinks I'm doing a command, and that's normally how you navigate this. I don't know what making that happen. A while ago, I was able to do that. They must have locked in some sort of special function. Quit, maybe that's it. There we go. Yeah, somehow quit got put down in there in that little mini command line at the bottom left. And it was trying to run quit. I don't know. I didn't type that in there. I have no idea how that got in there. Okay, open camera. Let's go over here. Okay, now, actually you can, let's go. It said you could do folders, so, and I did show that it worked in that other one, so I just want to be really careful not to accidentally delete that one over there. That's my entire backups. That's kind of safer to do, select all the files. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm going to do it that way just to make sure I can't accidentally. I'd have to try a lot harder to screw it up that way. Now let's go back and check on this. Yeah, it's still at 65%. And see, it shows from what I understand, it's at 35%. That's probably of that file. It's 2.12, 2.10 megabits per second. And it should be doing at least 35 to 52 megabits per second, I think. So this is pretty slow, but what I can do is get this running, then go off and do other things. Because luckily, I guess because it's running slow over the network, it's not working my system too hard for me to be able to do pretty much what I need to do. My normal backups that run every 10 minutes after every reboot, they're running from this hard drive to the two backup drives. First to the 5 terabyte and then the 8 terabyte. It goes from the hard drive to the on the system to the 5 terabyte backup, and then from the 5 terabyte backup to the 8 terabyte. And that works. I can't do hardly anything. Watch videos. If I start opening up a bunch of web pages and doing research or something, the system will really get to where it won't respond, And it takes it it takes it more than 20 minutes now, maybe 30, 40 minutes, since I've got the new backup drive and they're doing it twice, But it's worth it to me. But like I said, I like this backup program. I like Lucky Backup. Well, it's really using rsync to do the backup, but I like this better than anything I've ever used. So, I wish it was faster though over the remote. It would be. I know it would be. It's way faster than that. Like for instance, when I copied my website from this backup drive to the ASRock, I never realized that. It sat under the bed for years. And I just didn't want to spend the money. I did spend a little money on it. I bought some memory. I found some brand new memory for for $10 a stick or $15 a stick. Put memory in it. More memory, than it had. What I had done is rob memory from it, put it in other laptops, and so I filled it up. I put the new memory in the other laptops and the old memory in this one or whatever. But anyway, I think it's maxed out or close to it. And I bought it. It didn't have a power supply, a brick, so I bought one. I found one for $10 or something, or maybe 15. Bought one of those, and then but the hard drive wouldn't. It kept. Every time you tried to reformat it, it wasn't failed, but it kept showing. It's old and it's gonna fail. But when you try to reformat it, it would let you reformat it. But then when you write files, it would get errors. And if you try to install an operating system, Bane or Fedora or whatever, it would get about nearly halfway, 3/4 of the way done, and then break. It didn't work. Finally, and I think I'd heard this before and then forgot it, but Adrian, I was talking to him and testing his new ISOs for Rescue Tux and Super Grub Disk, and I was talking about this laptop. I was using it in the test videos, and he says, well, try. He knows a lot about that sort of thing, and he says, and I don't know exactly what he does, but that's his job, computer tech stuff. So never did ask him exactly what he does. But anyway, he said try setting the beginning of your partition like 20 megabytes in, and he said you could go up to, I don't remember, maybe 40 or something. Anyway, I went in 20 or 40. And started the beginning of my partition there, and it worked like a charm. So I just went ahead and formatted it to, what I wanted it to be, like ext4, and then installed Fedora 29 with that partition already there, so that it wouldn't go to the beginning automatically, and running like a top for a couple of months or more now. So, as long as it works, it's fun, no sense in spending money on another hard drive. And so now it's my web server. And my point being, I never realized it has built-in gigabit Ethernet. The laptop does. So when I copied my website from this machine, which has built-in gigabit, to that one, I was like, how did that go so fast, And it finally dawned on me because it was really fast, and I knew it was 2 gigabytes, and I knew it was a pain. It took a while, like on my IBM, it had 100 megabits. I just assumed it's a dual-core laptop, 2 gigahertz Acer. It's about the same age as my Dell 1525, I thought, and I just couldn't imagine it never even thought about it having gigabit Ethernet, but it does. So I finally went and ran some commands on it to see what the chip said it was, and it was gigabit Ethernet. So I could have been using, I'm just now to where I could take advantage of that anyway. I didn't even have, I had that gigabit, that TP-Link was a gigabit router. I had it for several years. But anyway, I'm beginning to work towards, all my newer machines will have gigabit Ethernet, so that when I transfer files, it won't take forever like this is doing right now over the Wi-Fi, through the phone's Wi-Fi chip. But like I said, I'm not worried about it, uh, really, because I'm just can let it run and go. Well, what's what I'm doing? I'm going on and doing other things, and I've just realized, well, might as well just let the video keep going while I'm doing this. This is something different, new from what I've been doing. So open camera. Let's see. And this is open camera. Okay. I since I've been talking, I'm afraid that I might have messed up. Now, there's quite a few more files in there, so copy. If size is different, oh, there is one. There you go. Something didn't get copied fully, maybe, or well, it could be that this. What is this? No, this is a video file. I was thinking that could be a screenshot or something, but no, that's a video. I hope it's not. What is it copying? And see, it's a good thing I didn't just trust that my lucky backup run all went without any hitch. It should, but you still should double check before you go to deleting the one and only original file. I don't care what you're using the backup with. Somehow you figure out if you have to do it manually like this, and that's what I do. But normally I'd like for it to be automated somehow. But generally this is one way or the other. I used to always, like I said, always use Crusader because I could do SFTP, and I would just do a sync. Crusader has a sync function. I would just use a sync function. And this is kind of what I'm doing now, but I'm having to do a copy function, But this is basically sync. It gives me the option to say, only write the ones where the file size is different. So, which usually means the file that you're copying is bigger than the file you're copying to. I don't think it would do it if the file you were copying was smaller than the file you're copying to. If it does, then that would be really bad because something would be wrong there. But this one seems to be going way slower than Lucky Backup. Lucky Backup does write fast. I guess that's one of the reasons why it uses more system resources. Move that. Get that mouse away from there before you screw something up. But it says 1.34 megabits a second, same speed as Lucky Backup. And that's not using up the bandwidth on the same phone that Lucky Backup's running. This is a different phone. So this is phone 2. I'm backing up phone 1 over there on Lucky Backup. So, I could run... I started to do that. I started to just run that backup again of all of those profiles I've set up for on Lucky Backup. And it might have caught this file and did it. But I decided that it might take too long to run through those ones that's already been done once, So I wanted to just get to this phone 1, make sure it's done. But now I see that there was a file that did not get copied, an open camera file that didn't get copied. Now there were several. I had some files that were 0 bytes, and I just thought, well, that's what they are on the phones. But it might not have been the case. Maybe some error happened, and they just didn't copy. The copy. I don't know. You would think that, I tried to look through the errors, Like if there was an error and then somehow I don't know if, say if the pipe, the connection was dropped. I was going to say the pipe was closed, or so they used to say it. You can still do, I guess. But the connection was dropped, and then Lucky Backup automatically reconnected. Maybe it skipped that file or something. That might be something that could happen. Whatever the case is, Midnight Commander saw it and is copying it. And I'm not sure what file it is. Of course you can see it, the name of it, but I'm wondering does it show how big it is? ETA. It says 5 minutes. It's already gone. Yeah, that time's not real time because it just jumped from 3 to 4 minutes while I was looking at it. So I don't know how that happens. The programs do that all the time. These when you're syncing and copying files. Oh, files processed 0 of 81. Oh, okay. Oh, now lucky backup. That's just popped up over here because that's where I was. So that's the second profile, which should already be done now. It's that there's just no files in there to be. I mean, there's a few files, but it's just like kilobytes of data. So, well, that's cool. It didn't take near as long as I thought it would. So now my overall network won't have quite as much data. See, I'm running the camera over it. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that camera 2 is the one I have on that I'm pointing at myself. And that's also the one I'm copying files from with Midnight Commander. So, but that's okay. It's doing the same speed Lucky Backup was doing. Yeah. So, yeah, that would be, yeah, phone 1, internal storage. So it did. Now let's go to the top of here. Yeah, it shows 4 errors, but 2 of them are just that message. It's not really an error. Okay. And then file permissions not allowed on Android secure. That unless you rooted the phone, you're not getting in there. So I don't need those anyway. What I want is, you know, documents, PDFs, and JPEGs, and, you know, pictures, videos. That's what I want. And it's good to back up the APKs that I have. I always back up my APKs on the SD card in case something happens and I need to reinstall them. And so that's the Android installation file format .apk. If you don't know what that is. So I'm trying to go through this slow enough to see. But I just back up everything on the SD card. And a lot of see, there's a lot of system files in there because I tell it to be the main storage. Because I keep saying that, onboard storage is too small. So, yeah, those take forever to go through that. I don't think there's going to be any red in the middle of that. That's what I was wondering is maybe I missed an error on a video file. Luckily, you know, I mean, it gets to be a lot to look through, but you can thumb through here and look through for errors. Okay, so now I can do phone. I think while I'm here, I will do phone 3 again with Lucky Backup. Phone 2 is the one I'm doing right now, right? See, that seems to be really slow. It almost looked like it's hung up even. Quit writing. I wonder if I did a... Oh, no, I think it's still working. It's just slow. I don't know if I did a screenshot of that or not. This app, one time I thought I used it like this, and it worked great. And then the next time I tried to do it, I don't even know what I was doing there or what machines I was connecting between. But, oh, no, it's still writing. There's the... it kept crashing and not doing a remote copy like it's doing right now, and it's working. But let's see, 141. That's phone 2. Yeah, 141 is phone 2. Okay. And 3 is the one that I've got my audio. I'm not even using that. I'm using my SM58, but it is serving up and ready to be used. So see, I got a lot going on my network, but I still think that it should be able to handle what I'm doing just fine, except for that after a while, it I see it jumped on up to 92% right away, but since these are all been backed up once, it shouldn't take very long, I don't think, unless it starts writing some files it missed last time. Well, there may be some new files. I do just from the usage of the phone, but I haven't been making videos directly on the phones, or I've been doing a few screenshots here and there as I was operating phones. I try to save screens that I might need later, sometimes. It's just it doesn't work good, though. You hit the power button and the volume button to make a screenshot, and sometimes it doesn't work, and you turn the phone off, or the volume just goes up and down. I don't care how many times you try. Jack up the window you're in, So sometimes I was doing it recently, though, and then I started having trouble, so I quit. But that would be some files that might be on any of these phones, is some screenshots. Just see it takes this long just to check them over and say, oh, no difference, But I'm really very curious and wondering what I'm into. Yeah, see, that's over 760 something megabytes. So this is one of those bigger files. If it's way down here and it's at 760 something megabytes, it's probably going to be a 3 gigabyte file. But I won't. Lucky Backup doesn't skip big files or anything. I had tried to do this with FileZilla because it was convenient, and it would copy all of the files that were basically about under a gig. Okay, there we go. So that was the first profile finished, and then it would start writing the bigger files, anything over a gig, whatever it might be, and then it would error out and then try again and try again and try again. And I didn't realize it because I just let it run thinking it was going to work. And I remember now that I did it 2 or 3 different occasions, and I'd forget each time that's what the problem was. And so finally it's in my head that it does that. And this should be finished now. And I don't know why. I never could figure it out. I thought the phones were going to sleep, and I looked into all that, and that wasn't the problem. And you can see the Lucky Backup, the phone didn't go to sleep. I did find out just the other day that I actually already had the settings set in SSH Store to make sure they did. It can tell the phones to stay awake and not the screens go to sleep. That's fine, but the phone the operating system didn't go in sleep mode and stop the Wi-Fi. Now the Wi-Fi may be it's supposedly not letting the Wi-Fi get throttled, but at the speeds I'm getting, looks to me like it's throttled. And I don't know what else to do. I did a bunch of research on that the other day, and I've got everything turned on that I could find. I thought it was the instructions in SSH Droid. I thought it was somewhere in the phone settings, and I kept looking through there and couldn't find what they were talking about. Finally, I found the right area in the SSH Droid app and the settings there, and that was already preset. All 3 of them I had done it and didn't remember it, or else it could have been the defaults, but I think it was telling you need to do it if you're having trouble with Wi-Fi getting slow and getting throttled by the phone operating system. So I think I did it at some point. And so the screens just go to sleep. Like phone 1 is asleep, I can see it. 3's in my bag, the one that has my mics plugged into it. 2 is over there where I can't see it without getting up out of the chair and going around there. But they're not going to sleep and stopping. I know for sure they're not going to sleep and stopping the copies now because I've done all 3 phones with Lucky Backup, and I'm sitting there copying this file. It's a big file. It's at 29% of it right now with Midnight Commander. But the fact that this right here is happening makes me know that I'm going to have to manually check one way or the other. Midnight Commander, it does real SFTP, and I think FileZilla won't do SFTP, it will only do FTP, and that changes the dates on your files, and it screws everything up because when I want to decide what files, when I want to go back through my files, and in this case, these files that I'm making sure I'm getting backed up, they're videos that I made, and I go by the time and the date to figure out which files go together so that I can, then I usually just go ahead and upload them to YouTube, and then I rename them on YouTube. Sometimes I rename them on the machine, look at them, rename them on the machine. So anyway, if if it has a day, like 3 days to a week or a month later date, then you're going to have a heck of a time finding the right files that go together, the right videos that go together, the right pictures that go together. And that's straight FTP gives you the date of the time and day that you actually do the transfer. It changes the original file date, and it screws everything up in your backups for me, the organization of it and everything. So that's why I don't want to use it, even if it would work, and it wouldn't even connect. I think I just wasn't doing it right because I know I've done it a bunch of times. I was just going to use it to peruse the directories and make a directory and rename stuff. But yeah, I could use this to look through that. Not right now because I'm in the middle of this, but yeah, I could go to phone 3 and find that .ssh folder, and I could delete it or move it or whatever I wanted with this Midnight Commander. It's more like Total Commander, the original twin file manager for Windows that I found and fell in love with. It used to be called Windows Commander when I found it in Windows 3.1.1. And I still use it whenever I'm in Windows. It's called Total Commander now. And that was a program that you could use. It was like shareware, you could use it all you want for free, but it would keep reminding you, it'd pop up and say press 3 to keep, do you want to buy it? Press 3 to keep going. I liked it so much I bought it years ago. And then Microsoft sued them because their name was Windows Commander, and they had to change their name to Total Commander. It's been around that long. I don't know how. I think that program was around for several. I don't know how many years it was around before I found it in '98 or so. That was '98 when I first got. Yeah, and the machine we had was a Windows 3.1.1 in 1998. Yes, it was. And I used it until we got a Windows 98 system 2 to 4 years later. The first machine I learned on in '92 was Windows 3.1, like probably the first or second version of it. And then the one we actually bought that machine. My mom bought it. I didn't have anything to do with it. I hadn't learned really hardly anything about computers at that time, and it was bought in probably I don't know when it was bought, 93, 95 or what, but that's what I got on AOL with in '98. And once I got into the internet, there was so much. By then, there was so much more. In '92, I had a friend who I ended up being roommates with him. He had I think it might have been a Packard Bell too. The one we had was a Packard Bell 486, and he had one, and he had dial-up internet, and also another friend had a real laptop. It was cool. And anyway, I learned how to do MS Works spreadsheets and stuff, and I made address books and stuff like that. And type. First thing I learned I wanted to learn is to be able to type. I already knew how to type. I took typing in 7th grade, and my mom was a secretary. She had a typewriter. She had an old Underwood mechanical, and then she had an electric. I knew how to type growing up, but we just didn't have computers, And see, I grew up I was a kid in the '60s, when I grew up, I was 18 in 1975, so I'm ancient, But being my mom's job, she did learn about computers because they took away the Underwoods and brought in some computers, and they had us. She was actually the server admin. They had a server in the back room, and they just had terminals, for years and years, and she was the only one that would, read the instructions, and so every night she would go in there and back up that server, and that's pretty much all she knew about it. She showed it to me once when I was a kid, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And then later, well, not long, just 2 or 3 years before she retired, she retired in 2000 I think it was 2000. They got PCs with their own hard drives and everything. They still used the server for their data, but they had real PCs, and she didn't like that. It threw her for a loop. It was different. She had to do a lot of hard learning curve, But anyway, backing up again to '92, my couple of different friends, one with the laptop and the other one with the desktop. I learned just some basics on the computer and played with paint, and learned how to make a drawing and stuff. And got on the internet, and it wasn't interesting to me at all because all I saw there was another young fellow that worked with my friend. My friend had started a sound company, and I worked with him on that a lot. This young fellow worked with him, started a company with him, and he was into lighting and stuff mostly. But anyway, he was into the internet and computers, and he knew a lot about it. And he liked to chat. Well, I didn't want to chat to, type to strangers on there, and I'm not good at that anyway. It all moves too fast for me. So if there was, I probably was the government gophers and stuff out there, but no, he wasn't into research, so he just into the things he liked to do, and so it wasn't too interesting to me. I didn't mess with internet or computers hardly at all anymore, except for if I needed to write a resume or update my address book. I made an address book, printed it out, stuck it in my wallet, a spreadsheet, MS Work spreadsheet, and until '98. And then I've been on a computer darn near every day and on the internet almost every day of my life since then. But the world of knowledge opened up. I always loved learning. I used to go, I worked on cars a lot and swapping motors and just keep, trying to hot rod them and stuff. And if I couldn't figure out how to do something on my own, I had motor book manuals and stuff. But if it wasn't in my book and I couldn't figure it out, I'd go to the library and spend all day if I had to. Looking things up in there, and books that cost too much for me to afford, and I always liked learning, but I generally learned by doing instead of by reading. But once I got in '98, from '98 on, I learned not only to learn by doing, but I learned to read, learn by reading. I have good reading comprehension, but I have to have quiet and no distractions. And ended up getting that, and well, when I try to read paper, my eyes swap letters and numbers, they jump lines, and I've always had trouble. But if I could get in a quiet place, and it was always harder for me to concentrate reading. That's the strangest thing. But reading, and I used to anyway, have a lot less trouble with the eyes swapping letters and number on the computer. But now, 20 years later, I'm beginning to have more and more of that trouble again. But now, I know my way around the computer fairly well, so it's just aggravating. It doesn't stop me from being able to do it. So anyway, I'm just going to look at these and see if it said anything about what it did or didn't do. They say, oh yeah, down here it says total files transferred 36, 9.67 kilobyte. Now that's a real run, not a dry run, so I guess that's accurate. I've seen it before when there was big files. I didn't think to pay attention just a while ago. I could have seen when it copied those videos from phone 1, I could have seen how much data it copied. So I didn't see any red errors inside of those. And just the same standard files that it can't get into. Attributes were not transferred, and I'm pretty sure that's because it's going from Android, Linux, Linux-based operating system to an NTFS drive. The NTFS handles file permissions and stuff different than Linux does, so can transfer those attributes, file attributes. Okay, so it did not. It seems that everything has already been copied. That's what it looks like. So I don't believe I'll run the Lucky Backup because that won't really give me a true double check. I'll just do it manually like I'm doing here. Save on that. Leave those. I don't want these running automatically because these phone ones, because it wouldn't ever. I mean, it'd actually be really. I mean, they wouldn't do any. It wouldn't work. It'd just be full of errors because the phones wouldn't. The SSH storage wouldn't be on. But let's say I did click them all and let them all run at once. Turned on all the SSH storage on all 3 phones. Well, then I'd have those password prompts popping up all the time. So I don't want that happening unless I'm planning on doing that, because that would drive me nuts. They pop up in the middle of wherever you are, and whatever else you're doing. So I won't have that on any kind of automatic I have a cron job. Let's see. There's the schedule, which what the schedule does is, you see cron it right there. It makes a cron job. Let's see. That's all there is to it. I just have it at reboot. 10 minutes in, it runs. And it's already been done, but you can click cron it. And that says, okay, now it's set. That makes a little cron job in the right files and everything. And then you hit close. And so, every time I reboot this system after it's been running for 10 minutes, it'll run these backup jobs. And see where this is at. Well, it's about halfway through now. Oh, now it looks like it can see how big the file is. No. 23 gigabyte? That can't be right. Can it? It could be. Oh, nah. 23 gigabyte, even of a video file, it would be like 2 to 3, 4 hours long. 23 gigabyte? Let's see. An hour? Oh no. 3 gigabyte. It could, yeah, that is feasible because I try to record in, like I said, I used to set the highest resolution in DPI possible that the phone could do, but I don't do that anymore. I leave it on the defaults, which 3 gigabytes is typical file size for about 45 minutes to an hour long video. And usually when I'm making it straight on the phone, they don't end up being any longer than that. They could be an hour and a half or something, but they don't go long like my streams do. Usually if you do, well, I'm usually outside when I'm doing that. That's why I'm using just the video app on the phone instead of streaming and all that like I'm doing right now, because the router signal's not strong enough out there, and it drops video frames and just runs the video to try to stream it into here. So went blank again. But yeah, what I'm wondering about is that evidently, now you see that 19 point so and so megabytes, so that's, now that's 2,000 megabytes, so that's around 2 gig. Maybe that's really supposed to be, I'm thinking maybe that's supposed to be 2.3 gig, but why would it say that? Why wouldn't they just put, there's dots over here, so you would think it would say 2.3 gig. Unless that's the total, oh, that might be the total of all the files. Didn't think about that. That would make more sense. Yeah, 23 gig of all the files that are to be checked through and not necessarily going to be written, I hope. If it somehow decided to overwrite all these files, then I'll be waiting a long time. Uh-oh. This is what happened before with this program. That means that file ain't going to get. Let's see. Cannot read source file. I'm doing screenshots so I can look back. Retry. I want to try a retry first. Yeah, so this program can go along for a good long time, and then it craps out for some reason. I don't know why. There seems to be a big difference in programs. I'm going to hit skip all because it may just do that again. So this is not going to work. Incomplete file was retrieved. Delete it or keep it. I'm going to keep it, and let's just see what it is. You can still play the video and see what it is. Oh, let's see. Now what's happening? If it's just if it's going to keep on and try to do another file, then I think it is. Looks like it's doing one right now. That's going to break whatever file it's writing to if I abort it, though. That's why I don't, most likely. Some programs are smart enough not to do that. They'll just like, I guess they write to a temp file and then don't write to the original file until it's finished copying everything over. But yeah, it's just going to sit there and keep on trying. You know, it may be having the same problem that FileZilla was having. For some reason, on a big file, it just can't do it. This is not working the way I was thinking it was going to work. So I really just want to have a way to compare the files and see if they're. FileZilla would. Thing is, I don't think you can compare and not copy it. If you can, I haven't ever tried it, so I don't know. But like, I couldn't even connect a while ago. Okay, this is 141, so that would be phone 2, I believe. I'll double check and see. I'm going to get out of this program and just run Lucky Backup again on the phone 2 profile. Let's see, what was it? 141, whichever one that is. I'm getting, yeah, phone 2, I believe. Okay, so that didn't work so good. I was all happy, and now I'm disappointed again. Okay, we'll close that until we need it again. Okay, Lucky Backup. No, it's running without, you know, erroring out, so that's good. Get hungry again. Well, I had to eat lunch early because I was starving, and so now I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Got up at 6, got around and got breakfast. Then when was it? Pretty early when I ate a lunch, so it shouldn't be supper. It's not supper time, but I guess it's not brunch, so it's. I don't know what it is. It's in between lunch and supper. Okay, so I want 141, yeah. 141, 141. I'm going to do them. I know I just got through doing. Which one did I just get through doing? Well, I didn't vote. I am so concerned about this working. I'm going to try it again on all of them this time. Let it run through. And then I'm going to have to figure out a real good way to, because they're all running the server and everything right now, and figure out a real good way to compare the files before I delete. Like, you know, that was working fine on just a few files, but then when I got into that one folder, and evidently there is some, I don't know if, I'm pretty sure I didn't click on the wrong thing or anything. I said, only override. Only override if the file size is different. Unless I clicked the wrong thing. So, let's run it. Oh yeah, I gotta type the password. Yeah, see, so I'm fixing to see just what it's like to try to run them all. Oh, that's finished. I don't even know what machine it was doing. Oh. I think it's trying to run all profile. Maybe it's going to ask me for all the passwords all right up front and then go to work. That was only, what was that, 3 times or 4 times I did it. Of course, I could have made a mistake too. While it's running through, it's kind of hard. You can just go back up to the top and it'll jump to the bottom while you're trying to read it when something new comes in. So we're doing 181, 181, 181, 141, 141, and we haven't gone on to the other one yet. Of course, I closed the browser. 181 and 141. Let's see what the other one is. That might be a fine and dandy way to do it, though. We'll see. Okay, 194 is the other one. That's phone 141 is phone 2. Oh, there's the other. See, that's part of the biggest part of the go. As big as copying these over is to make sure they're copied over. And then delete all oh gosh. Did that say did not finish? Yeah, that's why I kind of didn't want to run them all at once. It kind of gets confusing. And I'm trying to hurry because I'm afraid it's going to time out on me. But actually, I don't think it doesn't time out for a long time. But most of them do. You know, most of those menus do. So I'm always in a hurry. Get them all backed up. Make sure they're backed up, and then delete them off the phones. Just get the space back. Let's see. So now I was trying to figure out which ones were running and what's, but now I think it might be finished. So where's that IP? 181. I was looking for 181 and 141, so that's 2 and 3, and so 1 is 194. So all tasks complete. Okay. Total files transferred 507.51 kilobytes. Okay. And there was 12 errors. Let's see what we got. The main thing I'm worried about is those files that I was trying to write that got all screwed up. Lucky Backup is usually really good about, like if a file was incomplete or something, it will. Well, what it does usually is write a new one. Like if it's got the same file extension, I think it will overwrite it and finish it. But if it's one of those that had the file extension of part, we saw that yesterday. I had a video that was, it wasn't finished and it got interrupted somehow, and it was a .part. And I knew it for sure because it was the same file as the other one that was complete, which probably got written by Lucky Backup, the last couple of days here. The one that was .part, it would play, but it was a lot smaller, and it wasn't a complete, wasn't the whole video, and it would fast forward up to about the middle of it, and then it would just stop when you tried to go any further. And that's one way you can know that a file's been broken. Well, like if it depends on the program whether it gives it if it's a program that's making the video, it will probably have .flv or MP4, whatever your video format you're making. But if it's a backup program or a file copying, then it will very often give it a .part until it's finished writing. But some do, some don't. But I noticed that Lucky Backup was given a name that was like a random generated name or something. So anyway. I wasn't paying attention. The ones that are purpley looking, 181, 180. Now I'm getting to where I won't be able to talk much longer. Like 181 was mentioned 4 times. Don't know why. And then 141. One forty one. But definitely you don't have to have that private key setting in there. It's not using it at all. As I took it out of all of them. I guess I'm going to go look in there again and make sure I didn't screw any of that up. It's all working, but I'm just kind of trying to see if there's, I want to see if there's any files that are red and an error. There'll be, if errors are going to be in red, and if I see something that's in the middle there that's red, then maybe I can find out if there was a problem with, see, it didn't do any writing, and I was writing a file and then it got interrupted. So I can't understand why it didn't stop and write that file again. It'd take a little while. That's what I don't understand. This is actually the only thing I've got that will successfully do this. Except for pulling those SD cards out and putting them into the USB adapter like I used to do. Then I'd need my profiles back that I just changed in Lunky Backup. I should have backed up that profile. I didn't think about it. Maybe I already did a while back. I don't know. I need to back up this, export these profiles or back them up or whatever it is. Because you never know when something might get broken. You need to restore it. Okay, so I didn't see anything. I imagine if I counted up all these red mentions here, they would somehow add up to 12, I'm guessing. But I didn't see anything that, looked like a file error getting copied or anything. So let's hit modify again and go to the remote. Yeah, no private key, cancel. And I'll take the check mark out as I go. That way I'll know I've checked it. Yeah, no private key. I guess I should probably make sure those commands are all right too there. Let's look at this one again just to make sure. I really make mistakes a lot in these kinds of, to me they're complicated. Well, they're not. In principle, they're not complicated to me once I get used to it, but they're complicated in getting everything right, getting all my P's and Q's right. Okay, finding my P's and Q's. No username written in there. Huh. It still works when you don't put one in there. Huh. That's the internal storage. Okay. I didn't pay attention on these others. Username. Okay. This one, I don't think it was not working, but let's make sure. I could have missed that it was skipping it. I think it was working without the username. I think it was throwing out the default username root. That's what I think. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and leave that one as one. I'm going to run it again. Username. Okay, and then this one. Username. Okay, so let's just run this one. That is going to be a real quick one anyway, so. Takes me longer to type the password than it does to run that profile. Well, as bad as my drainage has suddenly got, I think I would be better off going ahead and taking another pill. I'm then waiting. I kind of try to not take them while I'm in the middle of making a video because they generally make it worse before for a while before it makes it better. But it suddenly hit me like a rock, really bad. Okay, one error. Yeah, just the default password. It doesn't even have the one about not. Oh yeah, well this one wouldn't have that directory that it can't access. Okay, so I don't think it'll do me any good to keep running it. I think I've done it enough that it's gonna do as best as it's gonna do. But I still don't feel now that I saw. Close it. Now that I saw in that commander seeing a file that was a different size and trying to copy it and then failing, just like I don't know which machine that was on now. Oh, I do have screenshots. Good. That's why I take screenshots because now that way I can know these things. Yeah, see, this video is getting long. Let's see, well, an hour and 49 minutes, and it's 4.8 gigabytes. So my videos, like I said, the ones I make directly on the phones I don't generally go this long, but they're actually higher resolution on the phone than I'm doing here. I'm doing 720p, and on the phone I do 1080p, and plus a higher DPI probably. Maybe, I don't know about that. I haven't been checking that. But, so anyway, the files could be this big, it's possible. I don't think I think that 23 gigabyte was the total of all that I was looking at there. Screenshots. Okay, so what happened to us? We were copying that file. Yeah, I should have copied that so I could go use, copy and pasted that into the search of Crusader. Now finding that file will be really hard. But that was when I quit, I think. That was the next one after that anyway. Yeah. See, there's a couple of files there. That's a different file. That's the one that got about halfway through and quit on me. Lost the pipe. The pipe broke. That's what. The connection, lost connection. The pipe broke. That's what they used to always say. I think they still do. I said that a while ago. Skip. Oh yeah, read error. Yeah, that's the same file. Okay, read error. 192312. 192312. I might be able to search for that and find it. I don't know. Okay. So let's go to my backups and see if I can find it. Which phone? I was on 141, which is okay over here. Phone 2. Okay. 192312. Phone 2. Try that. See if that'll find it. Well, there's only one file that comes up of 0 byte. Okay, that's really interesting then. So on the phone, oops, well, that's all right. What did that do? Didn't seem to do anything. Oh, I see. Oh, it tried to take me to it on the directory. Well, where is it? Doesn't always work. I mean, it doesn't always land up where you can see it. I guess it works, but view file, edit file, copy selected to clipboard. I don't want to copy that whole file. Well, let's do it because there's no bytes to it, so maybe I can at least get the just use use the sticky notes to see if I can. There we go. Yeah, there we go. The whole address and everything. Now, that's actually a good thing to work. That copy worked out really nice. Okay, so now, how can I see? I'm trying to think. Oh, I think I can search for that. I think I'm going to have to go back and use Midnight Commander again, but I guess that's all right. Can't connect with all these years I depended on Crusader to do the SFTP, and it won't do it anymore. It just drives me nuts. Okay, I can close this now because I've got an actual copy and pastable text. Now, so it's a 0 byte file, but it was trying to write it and then failed. Could be a corrupt file, I guess, but Lucky Backup, I don't know, I'm guessing Lucky Backup skipped it because they saw that it was what it really was, and then the other one couldn't and tried to write it. But gosh, it went so far, it was over 700 megabytes before it failed, so. Oh, Midnight Commander, yeah. Stayed in the that directory, so now I can. Well, the colors are different in opening it up from Crusader. They're so bright I can't read. I'm going to close it. It's too bright. Okay, so we'll open it up in here. You see, it's a lot. It's obeying my color scheme, and that was obeying KDE's color. Crusader's a KDE app, and sometimes it wants to obey the KDE color schemes. I don't even have the full KDE desktop installed. But oh, that didn't go back. I guess I must have been. Was I doing it from that terminal a while ago? I didn't think I was. I thought I was doing it from the normal terminal, like this one here. Let's see. But that one went to where I don't know. I didn't think. Anyway, run media. What phone was it? Phone 2. Okay, now. Maybe there'd be a find. There it is. And of course, we already know that it's 0 bytes there. So now let's see if we can go connect again. Oh, right. SFTP link. Okay, that's still, well, that's 141. Is 141 it? I think 141 is it, but I'm not sure. Better go check before we start connecting. Won't be no point. Phone 2. Yeah, 141. Okay. Get off of there just in case it's using up bandwidth or anything. Oops. And we're in there now. I was listening to see that my audio was still working. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, I just remembered I didn't want to go back out of there by accident. So storage. There we go. Now we'll do the find. Find the file. That would be it. There it is. Now, I don't know if I can, I don't think I can play it or anything from this program. It doesn't do that. Open in terminal, open tab. What is that? Oh, that didn't help. Just a new terminal tab. Okay, so what happens if you double click it? Oh, well, at least it goes to it. Okay, see, it's 3,375 megabytes. So that's little over 3 gigabytes. But you can, yeah, megabytes. So, and why was it not copying then? I don't want to try copying it with this again. So yeah, some of these 0 byte files, they're not getting copied properly. Oops. Surely, I don't see why you couldn't copy. Lost my spot now. Is that it? I think that's it. I wonder if you can. You sure can. You click on this by size and then, yeah, now they're brought up just by doing that. Cool. That's just like a regular file manager. Okay, so I believe that's still it. 1932.12. Yep, 1932.12. Now, I wonder if any of these other files are over there. Let's go over here on this side now. See, there's a bunch of 0 byte files, and they've been kind of worrying me because I wasn't sure if they were actually broken files. Sometimes the camera app will crash as soon as you hit it, and you'll get a 0 byte file. But sometimes, when you've been backing things up, it's because your backup failed. So you got to make sure. See, there's plenty of, well, that doesn't mean they were copied through SSH, though. But see, lots and lots of files that big, bigger than that, a little bit bigger than that. But I don't think that's going to help. Yeah, that doesn't help me see like 94, 48, 50. See, I can't couldn't really do that anyway, but I don't see it. It's not on the phone. The next one, let's see, 301-092-911. Guess I could try. I don't think I can do it. My eyes are already going crossways. So that one there, you can't get the properties of it or anything in this file manager. But we could say copy. Oh, failed to open the remote file. Huh. That was weird. Try it again. I don't understand this. It said it couldn't do it, and then it was doing it. Copy. Failed to open remote file. Now it says, you want to override it? Size differs. Well, I'm just going to say no. Well, let's see. Yeah, I don't want to jack anything else up. Say no. What I'm wondering is if it's another 0-byte file. 092-911. Let's see. Oh, there it is. 092-911. So I've got a whole list of files here. It looks like I'm having, sadly, very sadly, I thought everything was really hunky-dory because I got no errors telling me that things weren't working. So that's why, that's why you really should, one way or the other, double, triple check your backups before you delete the originals. Because even a good program like backup, for some reason, I don't run into this when you're just copying from one hard drive to another, and stuff like that. But I have noticed over the years, I've always done a lot of network copying, and SFTP, is my favorite way, which is, I'm not doing SFTP, I guess. I'm doing rsync over SSH tunnel. But I don't know what it is, but not only did Lucky Backup not copy those two files, and maybe the rest of these too, but it didn't report an error. Now what I could do, I just thought of this. I started to delete all the 0-byte files the other day out of my backups, and then I thought, no, because that tells me, like if I know there's a video missing and I can't find it and I'm going nuts, I can see that, there's a video of that date and time that's a 0-byte file, so that must have been a bad video. It didn't work. But I just now realized I could, they're not in the same order, but I could delete these. Now, they're not of any use, no, really. So here, let's try this. This could be a solution to my problem. I'm going to delete the 0-byte files. Oops, not that one. Not quite sure how to deselect. Actually, I don't know how to make it deselect. So I'll go out of that folder and then go back. Okay, now these 0-byte files. Okay, that time I got what I wanted, I think. Yes, I'll delete them and then run Lucky Backup again and see if it just works. But Lucky Backup, if the file's smaller than the one you're copying, it overwrites the other one, period. But I have seen at times when there was a 0-byte file, it fouled everything up when you're trying to do a sync. Generally, that was with Crusader. But let's delete those 0-byte files. go. And I'll just leave this sitting here like this. Put this over here. Well, actually, those are the ones that, well, some of these there is no other copy. So, yeah, let's just close this now because I don't want to accidentally slip of the keyboard and ruin things. Okay, so I can close that until I need it again if I end up needing it. That was phone 2. So just close this. Yeah, I'm just gonna, I know where to go and Lucky Backup, so I'm gonna open it back up again. And let's see if it now successfully backs those up. Phone 2, we won't try running. Well, we won't run anything but that one profile. Then I won't have that password prompt hitting me over and over. Oops. Nope, it's done. Why does it not see those files and copy them? I wonder if they have some sort of weird file permission that, well, the other program didn't have any trouble. Why isn't it copying those files? Doesn't make sense. It does say 4 errors. Am I missing an error that's... Some files, oh, it's not some file attributes, it says some files / attributes were not transferred. See previous error codes 23 at main C 1659 generator 3.1.3. I think I've been missing the error. But I don't know where this is, you know. Main.c 1659. I don't know where that is. All I know is what's right here. There are some other sections. You can get deeper into the logs and stuff. See, look at here. That file has been copied about 3.54 gigabytes. 2.75. It's not a file size thing. Or is that the ones that aren't copying? Because what I always remember is that if it's in black, it's good, and if it's in red, it's an error. So I've been skipping over all that. Yeah. I don't think that any of those in black are, I don't know. Now I'm kind of wondering if these are the, 192312. I think that's the file, isn't it? 192312. So that is talking about the file. That is telling you which files didn't get. But I guess I need to read that. I must be missing something here. 1923 for opening the file. 3.5, 54 gigabytes. That folder, permission denied. Okay. So all these files are the ones that are getting skipped then. And I just hadn't caught on to that. Match data 0 bytes, literal data 0 bytes. don't get it. Yeah, that doesn't look, I mean, there's nothing there that shows me that that's an error. Well, evidently, I've forgotten how, I hadn't paid it, forgotten how all this is written out. Rsync error, some files, I guess that should be files or attributes were not. I wish they would just use the words. So these forward slashes. When you're thinking in computer terms, forward slashes is always a directory change, not a sentence in a, word sentence. We're not transferred. See previous errors, code 23. I'm going to try and copy all of this up there. See if I can. I'll put it in that note, that sticky note. Usually I put my stuff like this in a regular file, but it just seemed quicker and easier at the time. Okay. Kind of cool. It works good. It gives you links. I'm sure that would take you to that spot in the file manager, probably the default file manager. Okay. So now, what I'm thinking is, can't remember, I'll have to look through here and see. Description, task. I think you have to go to manage backup. Yeah, I think so. I think that's where you can go and, what's this? Why did it do that? Wants to go to it again. I'll hit cancel because, no, let's do it. I'm not sure if that's part of password dialog cannot grab the keyboard input. This might be caused by applications such as a screensaver. However, it could mean that someone may be eavesdropping on your session. Either close the application which grabs the keyboard or log out, log in again to prevent this from happening. That was weird. Well, now it worked. Oh, I see. It actually connects to the remote. I don't use this section of it very much because I usually don't have trouble with my backups, but it connected to the remote machine, to the phone. And so you can actually look through it. Oh, I was wanting to look through things. Look through the directories. Okay. And this is my backup directory where I'm backing up things to. So, I wish it had to remember the password until you log out kind of thing like most other apps have. Okay. Oh. Okay, so here's my files. Well, now they're not seeing any size data. I wonder if Lucky Backup can't see the size data on a remote connection. Is that really possible? No, because in those other menus it knew what size it was. It's just not showing up in here. Okay. So here they are, and that's the folder. What I was wondering is, there's the log right there. That's what I was looking for. Okay. So let's go look at the log. Oh, we see what you can do is, see, you can actually manage your backups. You can restore a backup. So what I'd be able to do is go from my backup to my phone, but I don't want to do that. These errors, see what they look like. It's exactly what I just copied and pasted looks like. But you can look through other errors, not just the one that's in the window there. 1932.12. I think when they said previous errors, yeah, it's the same errors on the same. It's been being reported every time I ran it, and I just didn't catch on. Yeah, so see that's all this is on this backup, this particular backup job, 1932.12, exact same error every time. Okay, so yeah, I was wrong about just being able to scan through and just look for the red sentences. Don't click restore. Calculate differences. Okay. Snapshot and source differences. Yes, I know. Or is it still calculating? Yeah, see, Lucky Backup puts a file on your backup folders, a snapshot file is called, and it's giving this data, I guess, to help it work right. I never paid any attention to it. Just never have had any reason to deal with it. But I don't know if it's finished or not. I think maybe it's still working on it. But I just remembered something. We'll wait and see if that is needing to keep working. Get to the point where I'm going to have to go eat, go get me some supper. I guess I'll call it supper. If I get hungry again before bed, then I'll have to. It's actually getting late enough. I've been getting up early and going to bed early lately, so. I actually have something else I need to do. I need to order groceries, so I'm gonna have to. Even though what I had planned on doing is getting it running and then going and ordering groceries while it was running, and instead I got off on all the other things I've been doing since then, and it finished running, and now I'm glad I figured everything out, that I have problems and I can't just go delete those files. I'm afraid that I'm going to end up having to take these SD cards out of these phones and put them. Only thing is, my little adapter is in pretty bad shape. It's at one end of it's cracked out. I'm afraid that it may not do the job anymore. But anyway, I didn't want to have to take these out. Since I got the phones, I've been going around. Ever since I put them in tripods, I've been going around with not really keeping up with my backups because it's such a pain to get them, the SD cards in and out. Okay, so what I wanted to look at was that Lucky Backup. Can't remember now if it was in Linux or software. There we go, Lucky Backup. Lucky Backup manual. I need to write. I have to look over here to the address to see that that's the manual. Now I'll know right quick. Okay. Now, I'm going to search for skipped. Let's see. Oh, exclude. Well, I'm not excluding anything. Okay. Let's see. Normal include, yeah. List of directories is built. Look back up. Checks a name to be transferred against a list of exclude patterns. It will, in turn, first matching pattern is acted on. If it is exclude pattern, then the file is skipped. If it is include pattern, it is not skipped, which I use that in some of my other profiles. If not matching pattern is found, then the file name is not skipped. bypass warning. Checking this box means that all security checks that refer to this task will be skipped. You know, we don't really want to do that. It'll run even if a warning appears. That could be a bad thing. Beware, only use this if you really, I mean really know what you're doing, so I wouldn't do it. Warning, the dry run feature only affects the main task and not the pre-post command, which are going to be executed normally. Saw that before. Okay, and I was like, what are those commands? This task will be skipped to avoid doing something stupid with your data. What's that? Okay, both errors are okay. All right. Warning. Oh, it's empty. It does not. This task will be skipped to protect your backup data, if any. Okay. Yeah, protect you. So that's a good thing. Okay. This is about warning messages and stuff, and then there's one I've seen before. This will not be skipped, so be sure you want to do that. This is the inverse of that one. It says this one will not be skipped. The destination directory does not contain any data or does not exist at all. Most possible situation that you have forgotten to mount the partition, same thing, or have just mistyped the path. Of course, it might be the first time you perform the task that you'll see that, and you just want the destination folder to be created or filled with data if it's empty. And that is the case on anytime you do a brand new profile. So beware if the data is the first time you perform. Beware if it is not the first time you perform the task. That's when you want to worry. Okay. Critical, and I've seen that a lot. And you have to stop and think, though, and pay attention. Is that what you want to do here? Yeah. Okay. Oh, there you go. The execution order. They are one by one in the order they appear. You can change that. Click on the task and highlight it. Press Shift and arrow keys. Change the position. Move it. Okay, let's go. I'm still not. I'm looking for. A file got skipped. And what do you do to make it not be skipped? I haven't found it yet. I think I'm already back to where I started, though. Yeah, really know what you're doing. So I didn't find anything under skipped. And as you can see, there's some good long time of reading there. So I can't think of another. Let's see. Right, fail. Okay. Well, this is the same problem I've had with other. Let's go ahead and get out of this part before you mess things up. Same problem I've had with other ways, like doing FileZilla, using FileZilla. Can't use Crusader anymore. What is that IP address? I just thought of something. I'm gonna get the IP address here. 141. Cancel. Let's put this back to normal. Save. If you don't hit save, I don't think you'll. When you do that, I don't think you'll. It may ask you when you close it. I can't remember, but you definitely want to get it back to normal. When you're flipping back, changing your profiles back and forth. But oh yeah, I could use that. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. Then move that again because I want to get it. I'm gonna open up. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get out of that folder. Oh, no, let's don't get out of that folder. I may close this. See, do I want it in? Yeah, let's leave it like that. No, let's. Yeah. Oh, there's another 0-byte file that somehow I missed. There's several. Oh, 1932.12. It tried again and failed. 1, 2, 3, 4 files. So there's something crazy going on there. Okay, so I'm going to close Crusader. Well, let's leave Crusader. No, I need to. I'm trying to minimize how much work I'm making the machine do. Because I'm going to open up Windows XP in VirtualBox because I can try Total Commander and see what it does. What is the error? Oh, probably that 32 gigabyte SD card that I had in there. At one point, you have to set them up to get them to work, and then I just, instead of having to reset it up over and over, I just it throws that error, so I just leave that and ignore it, and that way when I plug it in again, it'll work. Yeah, that was pretty quick. I saw in an article today they actually put out a new patch, security patch for Windows XP. I've been getting security updates until I don't know, right about now, last month, this month, because I learned how to set up the registry to show it as to the update system to show it as embedded system, embedded XP, commercial embedded XP system. And it's been getting an update. This virtual machine has, and of course it hadn't even been on. Actually, I filled up the virtual hard drive at one point, and then I learned how to make it larger, but then it shrunk back. So it had gotten to the point it couldn't get updates because it was full. The space was full. This will quit doing junk. It takes a bit to get finished booting up where you can use it. That's pretty fast, though, really. I need to get me a little chocolate thing. Let's see, let that keep booting up. Yeah, let's just leave that on the desktop because I'm afraid I'll forget. Yeah, you'd be surprised. The difference, I mean, that sometimes you run into an error that seems insurmountable, and you just try a different program and it works. So try this one now. This is a problem I've only run into like this, where I just flat can't copy these files that are fairly big, but they seem to be. I'm eating that chocolate. Finish that. Well, let's see. I just remembered something. I used to be able to connect to a backup drive. Let's see if I can. Well, maybe I can. Ah, good. There's small text, but anyway, there it is. Let's see. Phone 2. Good. I was starting to think, oh, I ain't going to be able to connect to it. Because I think I got to where I can't. I had trouble. I don't know if maybe I figured it out again, but I couldn't connect to my USB in the USB sticks. But this is a USB hard drive, and it's working. So you have to set it up as a. Actually, it sets it up in VirtualBox. It sets it up as a network drive, if I remember right. You have to set that up. But they're showing up because I have that set up. I don't think I can use network. I want to use SFTP, not Samba. So FTP, yeah. Connect to FTP, new FTP connection. Let's see what we got here. Oh, okay. You can do, like you can do that, or you. Oh, okay. It kind of goes through a wizard, I guess. So let's do that. I don't know if that's better. Oops. I can't paste that. I think I'd rather do it in here. New connection. I don't know if I didn't get that in the clipboard or what. Let's see. I think the IP is right there, isn't it? Maybe because I closed the browser, it lost it. Oops. Yes. See, VirtualBox is using 25% and OBS is using 22%. No. Okay, so I'm going to have to type it in. I'm not sure why it's not working. 192.168.0.141. Nope. Control V won't work in the to paste. in the SSL. Oh, I don't have the library installed evidently, so I can't do a SFTP evidently. Oh, and if you want to add the port, you got to put it up there. And try that. And I won't put, we'll just see if it works. Oh, I don't need an SSL connection anyway. SSH is not, that's an encrypting the data as it's sent. Yeah. SSH is a secure connection, but you don't, that was be for connecting the data. Let's see. Now then username, I'm going to say root, because, let's see, no, I've been doing Don. Okay, and then the password. Yeah, that should be should work. We'll see. See if I got it right. I'm not sure if I just now realize I'm not even sure if I think Total Commander could use whatever port you want to put in there. I may have to put, from what I remember, you don't want to put the SFTP or FTP in front of it. I think. Then again, it may not be working because it's trying to do normal FTP and it needs to be SFTP. So we'll see. It's taking so long, I don't think it's going to work. But I'll wait till it answers. I think sometimes it can take a long time for it to come back and say, oh, couldn't do that. I don't think it's going to work, so let's go. Let's look at this one. See how it's been done. Yeah, see, there's no HTTP or anything in the front of that. Okay. I don't think. Let's put root in there. I think I'll leave the password out and just, whoa, postpone it. Yeah, let's let it ask me for the password. I think if you don't put it in there, I think it'll ask you. And I'll still try the right port, putting the right port in there for now. SSH 2.0. That should work. I wonder if I can do a screenshot of that. I think I have to use, I don't think it works. Oh yeah, I remember what you have to do. You have to go, let's see, no, that won't work. If I click over here, let's see if that works. No, I have to use another program to get it to work. Because if I click over here, yeah, it'll make a screenshot, but it will be that window. It'll be, because I don't have a delay on this screenshot. So, it wouldn't be that. Okay, let's see. Go back in here, try again. Well, I've been using Dawn on the Lucky Backup, so let's go back to that. I got to thinking maybe I had the password wrong, and if I have it ask me for the password, then, it'll tell me. But it also might just be making it take longer to respond and everything. Okay, there we go. Wait, that says anonymous. Oh, you emailed your email address as password. No, we don't want that. Okay. Send the command to keep the connection alive. I used to use that a lot, and it did help. So that you don't lose your connection while you're trying to figure things out or whatever. You know, once you get it connected. All right. Yeah, so it automatically is doing SSH because of the port that I gave it. So I guess anything with 22 or not 21, you know, I don't know. Probably it's doing it. It's doing that, but I don't know if it's going to connect. Usually, I'll just wait this time. When it takes this long, usually means it's not working. Now, this is from a Windows system, but it is going to an NTFS drive, so actually it might have less trouble with file permissions than instead of more, if it would work. Getting where I need a break pretty badly, so may have to quit whether I want to or not. I don't like quitting until I either get it working or I have to give up. I don't want to say I have to give up yet, but it usually don't sit here so incredibly long and not give you some kind of answer. That's what I don't get. It has. Crusaders sometimes would do that too. Sit there for a minute or two sometimes and finally answer back. Couldn't do it, and it'll tell you why usually. And I think this window here, this little quasi-terminal window here, would probably tell you why with Total Commander 2. Username Don. 22168.0.141. It's not an immediate error, you know, like not allowed or whatever. Could be that the SSH software on here is too old to communicate with the phone. You know, it gets automatically updated, and this hasn't been on in a month or two. And like I said, I'm not even sure if it's still getting updates. The Avast is getting updates. Oh yeah, I forgot. That thing has to be rebooted. It'll reboot. Even if I did, it's not going to connect. Even if I did, it would reboot on me. Look in here one more time and see if I see something I missed. I know you can't connect to. Let's just not put a port in there and see what it does. No response. Timeout. That's probably because I'm not on the right port. See, now, whenever it's completely wrong, it tells you. All right, quicker like that. And I know I can't do 22. Now I might be able to change the software. I can change the software to do port 22. But I don't think it's not going to answer to port 22. Yeah. So I think I just clicked the wrong thing. I think I clicked that pack files button. I didn't have a file selected, which might be a good thing because then it would have been trying to, it may still come up here in a minute. 22.22, 192.168.0.141. Let's see if it's just going to sit there again. Let's see. 2.168.0.141. Yeah. So even that's the right phone, but even if it was the wrong phone, it would still be trying to, either way the connection would work. See, I use the same password on all three phones for my SSH Droid, so as long as I get the IP and that password, then it'll work. As long as I don't know what's going on here as far as it not just sitting there like that. But it's getting to where it don't matter because I need a break too bad. So I'm not sure. I'm going to guess that the problem really is the SSH. I guess it's a SSH Doppler program is what it's using. It's probably came with built into Total Commander. It's probably too old. That's what I'm going to guess. And if it was updated, then it would work. But I'm going to go ahead and reboot the operating system because Avast was wanting to do that, and what it would do is it forced it to do it. If I got that, I'd have to sit here and watch it, or else it would just do it. If you don't answer that little reboot thing, it'll do it. So there could be a whole nother favorite phrase, can of worms, into making this to where it would work, because I don't use it often. I don't keep it, so it doesn't, I don't update it because I hardly use it unless I run into a program that I really need to use, and then I'll update it, Sometimes I'll update all the programs on the little XP system, get on a tangent of updating it, or something. But of course, some of them like Avast updates automatically. But I just use it for what I really, really can't, some programs there's no Linux version, or sometimes what I'm trying to do, like, it actually works, like using a Windows program, and, like using Total Commander work. There's some little old faithful features that still work in it. Like I think it'll do, I don't know, if I tried to connect to my server with it for SSDP, it might work. I don't know, it might not. I'm not gonna do that right now. But I'm just gonna let that run and get all finished, booted up, and then I gotta go take a break. And I don't know. Like I said, I do have to order groceries. I really think I need to do that this evening, so I may have to just quit, come back or something. If I end up, being able to come back to it this evening, then I probably will want to go ahead and make a new video of the progress. But I guess for right now, unless I come up with another idea, another program I could use, or this one worked, I'm stuck with doing, for some reason, some of my, again, it seems that the bigger files, the ones that are around 3 gigabytes, I cannot imagine why they're not transferring. It doesn't tell you on Lucky Backup. It shows that they didn't work, but it doesn't tell you why. Now, well, I need to get on the phone and see if those files are playable or not. It could be that the information saying what size they are, they could be corrupt files, and really they're not. What I'm getting is 0-byte files. That's what they really are in reality. I could find, well, I do at least have the name of that one file, so I can get on the phone itself. See which it's phone 2, I can get on that phone and try to play it, on the phone and see. Now, I'm not going to be able to do it right now. I have to have a break. But, yeah, I could get on the phone and try to play this file right here and see if it's corrupt or not. It could be that every one of those 4 files are corrupt files, or the phone might show them to be 0 byte. Like they've been, when it tries to copy my Lucky Backup, it has a file name, but it's 0 bytes. So that could be the case. It could all be corrupt files, and I am trying to beat a dead horse, trying to copy things that are broke. So that could be a possibility. Okay. So I'm going to go now. See what that phone, didn't get moved around. I kind of bumped it a little bit here with my mic. It's just right within a 1/4 inch of it, and I bumped it a few times. Bumped the mic stand that's holding the phone. I've got that phone in a mic stand. And then my mic, this mic's on a mic stand that's going vertically, I guess, whichever way, horizontal, vertically. The phone's on up and down, and this one's on this way. I always got those words mixed up. And then just as soon as I decided to get ready to quit, now my preview over there quit playing. But I guess my stream doesn't show to be dead. But I'm going to go, and I don't know if I'll be back this evening or tomorrow, maybe, with all finishing this up. All right. See you later.